unraveling these mysteries. Stay a while and share your thoughts. Help us break down this mystery. Grab a seat, we guarantee you're in wonderful company. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. Unraveling these mysteries with Mr. and Mrs. E. Mrs. E. Mrs. E.
Welcome to the Mystery Crime Cast, everyone. I am Mr. E. I'm joined tonight by Mrs. E and Auntie. And you may have noticed here in the background, we got our got a new sign that Mrs. E ordered. Was supposed to have been here before Christmas. Got here a little bit late, so a little late Christmas present for the true crime family here. So I love it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think the company did a great job with it. So thank you, Mrs. E, for that Christmas gift. I think that's
Well,
it was a
you're
good
welcome.
one. It was a good one. How are you doing today, Auntie? What have you been up to?
I'm great. Been a fun day. I went to a hockey game today, so and my team won, so I was excited.
Okay, good. I didn't. Have you? Do you frequently go to hockey games?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
since we moved, it's kind of our new hobby.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were doing that. So
Yeah, it's minor league. It's not NHL. It's a, it's a minor league. One, in the city close to where I live, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, live hockey is the best. Watching it on television is almost.
Oh,
yeah.
Really tonight was exceptional. We had like 12 fights. It was awesome.
Well, that's the nice thing about minor leagues. They almost it's a little more like WWF or something, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. They do a lot of fun stuff in the intermissions between the periods. So it's a lot of fun.
I had no idea you were into that. So I just learned something new. I had no idea that you guys did
Does
that.
it shock you?
Yeah, kind of.
Really?
Yeah, basketball I would have thought, but I wouldn't have thought
she's
hockey.
always been a big fan of sports. So
I've just never heard you talk hockey before. So that's
it's because I don't know, it's more interactive. I also love minor league baseball. I don't necessarily like major league baseball, but I love minor league baseball, and it's kind of the same thing with the hockey. It's a lot of fun.
Well, Gypsy agrees with you. She loves hockey as well. Hi,
welcome
Gypsy.
in, Gypsy.
Well, we've got some good friends here tonight.
We do.
Do you want to go through and start saying hello, or would you like me to do it?
Sure. You can start.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, welcome in, Karen, Grandma Chachi. Let's see, Miss True Crime, Ginger for Ob, Real Me Too. Everybody's with you on the hockey thing there too. Terry DeVoe, You Can't See Me. Real Me Too. We appreciate you being here as one of our mods, and Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beach is also joining us. Glad you like the sign. I think it's I cannot believe how well it turned out. Actually,
it's awesome.
Right? That you can just do these custom things like that. It's incredible. Mischief All Around Me, sped teacher, probably special ed teacher. I would guess it's what that. Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to stand for. That's what they're called, special ed.
Yeah.
Sped.
Susan Smith, good to see you again. BJ Boop.
Charlene McPike.
And Justice for Baby Evelyn here from Real Me Too. That's what this is going to be about tonight for sure. If you're not familiar with the case, we're going to do a little rundown on that here in a little bit. This is one of those where the wheels of justice can move pretty slowly, and this is one of those cases because this has been a long time coming. This case goes back to 2019, really, to when the girl.
Well, she didn't report her until
when she was last seen, at least.
Right.
And So we appreciate y'all being here tonight.
There's some new names in here
Okay.
I haven't seen. Pink Life Christina, welcome. Old McClary's Journal, that's a great name. Welcome. Rita, well, hello, nice to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in to our members as well. Let's see. SRK9 Mom, welcome. Let's see. Prickly Pear, hello. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just going through. Victoria Burgess. Hey, it's okay if you don't know the case. It's fascinating. And there is a lot of, there's a lot we can learn from watching this case, I believe. That's just kind of my opinion. It's very heavy on my heart. Had our circumstances been different with middle E, I think that I would probably be sitting in the courtroom. I'd be in a hotel room getting ready to be there tomorrow.
We were considering that, having Mrs. E go up there and actually watch it, because this is one that she's been really fascinated with.
And it's not too far from where you live, is it?
No, it's just it's just a couple of hours away. So it's East Tennessee and Sullivan County. This will be an interesting trial. The jury selection starts tomorrow for Megan Boswell. And it's been delayed a long time. She's had a lawyer change in between, and so jury selection starts tomorrow. They're estimating this will be 2 to 4 weeks for the trial, and it's going to be one of those where we don't really know how this is going to play out. We don't know what her defense is going to be. We don't really know the evidence that's been gathered. For the most part, a lot of this is not leaked to the media. What we mostly will have are the statements that Megan Boswell herself made, because while her child was missing, sought after, was missing for a few weeks, she made a number of media appearances, and they're wild. So
if you haven't seen them, stick around, because we're going to play some of those.
Yeah, I don't know if Deception Detective ever did these or not.
He should.
But
where's your deception deck? I think it's in the drawer. Do you want me to get it?
We might ought to do that. It's in the interviews are incredible. You'll find a lot of parallels between her case and many others involving children that you've kind of seen over the years. I hear the ones I hear the most about are Casey Anthony and what's the one with the
Susan Smith?
Leilani Simon.
Oh, not our Susan Smith, a different Susan Smith.
Well, I guess Susan Smith. It's kind of similar.
Not the one in chat, guys. Don't attack her.
Not that different.
That's a really old one. Yeah.
Notorious one. So you'll see a lot of deceptive tactics from her. She's being charged with a number of crimes involving her lies.
I think one of the things that's most fascinating to me is the fact that she can look the person straight in the eye and tell many different stories. I think it's fascinating.
So it's going to be the trial itself is going to be a little bit of an unraveling of the mystery. We really don't know the motive for Evelyn losing her life. We don't really know.
Or
there's a lot of family involved. We don't know who knew what and when. And so that there's going to be a lot to her defense. She's pleading not guilty. I don't know if she's going insanity or she's going to try to put it on someone else. So we'll kind of get into all that in this discussion too. But you want to start with the little girl first?
Well, first I want to say hi to Guidance. Welcome in. And she says it makes her think of Letitia Stout. I can never say the last name right. Stout. No, it's Stout.
Stout.
With no N. Is it a silent N?
I can never get it right, but her interview is also wild. She wouldn't look at the camera though for hers. Let's see. And let's see.
Yeah, Guidance says, I'm sorry. Guidance is a narcissistic psychopathy.
Exactly.
I think I would not be surprised if that is a diagnosis she got.
And I wanted to also say, well, go ahead and read Real Me Too.
Real Me Too says you could clearly tell she was lying. Another Casey Anthony.
And then I wanted to say or recognize Casey Chiefs for life. I was into this case. I hadn't lived here long in East Tennessee when this happened. And, back in those days, that was during the COVID time. So a lot of I don't know. A lot of people were very kind of disconnected from everything.
Yeah.
So, I want to be sleuthing something. Oh, says I'm lurking in the bushes, not feeling great. The weather makes me sick when it's bipolar.
I'm sorry to hear.
Well, I'm sorry that you're
Sorry
feeling
not feeling
bad. I
well.
hope you feel better. Did you want to give just an update? I know everybody worries about middle E. Wanted to give a quick update before we get started.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to look for your deception cards.
we're still, we're doing
Lots of doctor's appointments.
lots of doctors, so we're super busy for the next couple of months. But he's doing great. I mean, he's good attitude. He's young. Kids bounce back from stuff and physically and mentally better than adults in a lot of ways. And so, he's doing as well as he can be doing. And
I don't know where your deception deck is.
I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, he's doing great. He loved last week. Everybody kind of caught us off guard a bit, but everybody did the orange hearts like you can't see me is doing right now. And I told him about that the next morning, and I got a big smile out of him. So he got kind of a kick out of that.
It's not just here. It's anytime we say hello in chat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Orange Heart City, and I can't thank you guys enough. You just realize how much it warms your heart to see that kind of support, and we appreciate you guys so much.
He did appreciate the orange.
Well,
he thought that was pretty cool.
It warms my heart too. How many times have I cried this week seeing him? So, also want to recognize Hen House member for 1 month. So happy you all are back. Sure did miss you all. Well, we missed you too. We really did.
Thank you.
I wish we could come live more often, but right now, what? Go ahead.
We might try to do some of the trials.
We might be able to do some daytime stuff, maybe.
If they're airing them and we can work it out during the day, we really want to watch the trials. So we may do that if our schedule will allow it to happen. Tomorrow, if jury selection, there's no way. I can't imagine. We've got too much tomorrow.
Passion Flower. Is this Tennessee again? Yes, it is.
It is. So this is Blountville, Tennessee.
Blountville, isn't it? Is it Blount? How do you say it?
I would have guessed Blount. Blount. I think it's Blountville.
I pronounce it Blountville, but I'm a little country, so
I don't know.
SR, our senior canine mom, I figured it out. Will the trial be broadcast? It will. Once I find out where, I will go ahead and share that with you guys. If we can go live for some of it, we will totally do that and try to give you all a heads up. Victoria Burgess.
So it's
she says, I missed your beautiful family. Well, we missed you too. Oh, Ginger's got her deck. Haha.
Yeah, I know it's around somewhere. It's probably on my nightstand or something like that, or the bookshelf. I'm not sure.
I can go look for it if you want to run.
I practically have it memorized anyway.
Well, they said Betty got one. That Betty got a deception detective deck too.
They're great.
She went through the whole deck one day on one of her lives, and it is actually an interesting. It's a great product that he puts out. So
it's wonderful. Look at all these orange hearts. You guys are so sweet.
We do appreciate it.
Here, Starflower said that her sister's married name is Blount, but it's pronounced Blunt.
Yeah, I think it's Blountville.
Okay.
We're not real close there, so you don't.
It's about 3 or so hours away.
I think it's further.
Is it?
It's out past it's almost to North Carolina. It's past Johnson City.
It's not terribly far from. It's the next county over from Summer Wells. That's my understanding. Sullivan County. I can pull it up on the map if you guys want.
I did Waze, and this has it 4 hours away from us.
Wow.
So that'd be Knoxville would be 2.5, 3 hours from here. So it's out more, almost
out past there.
It's closer to North Carolina out that way.
I was just that's the way I read it though.
Oh, and Real Me Too says a local channel is covering it, and she can send it to you later.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, you're the best. You're right. It's actually closer to Virginia.
Yeah, that's like up there on the little pointy part, right?
I can share this.
Yeah.
Let me share this tab.
And thank you, Hope in the Shadows, Gypsy Nielsen. She's been a member with us for 2 months. We love your
Gypsy. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
She's so beautiful too. She's a very nice person.
Yes, she's great.
Okay, and Ginger for Ob says they have a Blunt County, and it's pronounced Blunt.
Okay,
Blunt. Yes.
Then I'm wrong. So it looks like I'm going to try to do this without. Why does it have?
Yeah, it's up. It's like
wanna do
a
it-
little northeast
There we
of
go.
Johnson City.
So, okay, but if you look, it's right here near Kingsport, which we all know that's where it's the next county over from Kingsport.
Oh, I
which is
see it.
where Summer Wells.
I don't. This might be my imagination, but it seems like this whole area has missing kids all the time. Like some kind of alert or that I come
Something.
across some.
There's a
old
lot of
story.
runaways.
There's
from
just
the
something
area.
about that area that kids seem to go missing frequently.
Let me
Just
see.
that kind of that East Tennessee area out past Knoxville just seems like they have trouble. It might just be a coincidence. I don't know, but it seems like we
Aw.
hear about it all the time.
Gypsy, thank you so much. That's very sweet. Very sweet. Yes. See, Debbie and I agree.
So, I
It's
mean,
right next to Kingsport.
This is getting this wouldn't be like Appalachia country, really?
Appalachia?
Yeah, a little bit, yes.
Kind of, yes. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, pretty
guidance. I
small
agree,
area. I mean,
guidance.
I've been to Kingsport a few times, and so it would be a fairly rural community.
And Bristol's where they have the big races.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's not too far from there.
Right.
Oh my goodness. I didn't see that. We actually took the kids to a movie this afternoon. News says 15-year-old got shot in
Oh,
Clarksville.
no.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah. So it's where Seth is living actually. So 101st Airborne, all that. That's Clarksville.
Though that's
so
terrible.
that's terrible.
Well, prayers for
That's
everybody involved.
And Debbie Barker says she lives in Kingsport, so she's really close.
Oh yeah, for sure.
oh yeah.
And I believe some of our other friends that are creators are going to have friends in the courtroom, so it'll be interesting. Like I said, if our circumstances were different, then I would probably be there right now, getting ready to go tomorrow.
Yeah,
So,
because
I have been
Mrs. E,
talking about it for a long
Yes.
time.
She's been playing these. She's been playing these interviews for months, watching these, trying to understand this case. And we'll probably tonight get into those too, and kind of show you what was going on with that. Kelly Holcomb says Summer, Sebastian, Layla, Holly. I know there's more. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then Sharon Shelton says I'm a local to Sullivan County, which is so okay. Sharon, how do we pronounce it then?
Blunt or Blount?
Is it Blunt or Blount? To Sullivan County has an awesome sheriff, and more needs to follow suit. I agree. I've seen every interview with this guy, and he's amazing. He's amazing.
It does seem like they did a good job putting this case together and how they handled everything. Yeah, so far I'm a fan of that.
Let's see. Welcome in, Baba Rose. And Seth says, yes, I still live there. Prayers for those who are in with the tragic incidents as of late. Well,
Oh,
Seth,
yeah.
welcome in. It's nice to see you.
It's been a lot of tragedy
you, Seth.
lately.
Welcome in, Michelle Lee. Sharon says, yeah, Sharon, but Sharon, how do we pronounce it? Is it Blunt or Blount? We're going to argue over this all night. I guarantee it. Because I'm going to say Blount.
I think it's probably Blunt.
It's probably Blunt, but I don't know why.
Well, because we're just used to pronouncing all the letters.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Blountville because I think I've just heard.
Oh,
it
Sharon Shelton says
it is
Blount.
Thank you, Sharon.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Stand
Sharon.
corrected.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Get
We
that
want
right.
I like to be
we're
right.
saying right.
I like
Well,
it when Mr. E's wrong.
I
Just
know,
kidding.
I know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I had to
So
wait
Bear
5
Honey
minutes to
says it's
confirm
Blunt.
it is pronounced Blunt.
Well, here's the thing, though. Sharon lives there. It's like
Sharon
there's a
says
place.
you're wrong. LOL.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. There's places like what's the name of that place over there? They call it Cairo Estates, but it's spelled Cairo.
Oh, Cairo, yeah.
Or they call it Monticello when it's or Monticello when it's Monticello and things like that. So
Yeah, there's a little bit
Sharon
of
Shelton says it is Blunt.
okay.
Blunt. Oh, okay. So
So we've
we're
got a
saying
couple
it
of
wrong.
folks saying Blunt.
No, Sharon said no. Sharon, yeah.
She said Blount, but then now she's saying Blunt.
Gotcha.
Okay, now.
Okay,
now
so
I'm
we got it
confused.
now. So it is Bluntville.
Okay.
So we will.
So that's how we'll do it. Oh, and Kiki says joining late. How's Middle E doing? Middle E is doing really good.
yes.
Considering everything that he's been going through, he's doing great. And
Yeah, He's doing great.
Just a
He's
marathon.
got a good plan, good team. So we feel
You
feel
can
good
tell
about
him what
everything.
the doctor said about the marathon. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So the surgeon afterward, he felt so good about everything. He said, "Look, you've got a marathon. You are in a marathon, but right now you're in first place." And so that's kind of what we've been going with. And then his doctor, another person on the team, he said that this was all a good prognosis. So we don't, we feel like we are in a good place right now.
And we're doing everything we
Just
can.
a tough road, and we are researching like mad.
That's putting it mildly.
So yeah, I know. So that's kind of all my free time at the moment is that.
Well, Auntie sends us stuff constantly too.
Auntie's doing her work there too, sending us stuff, and
oh, that's funny.
But no, we appreciate it, and but continued prayers are wonderful. We're going to welcome and appreciate this for sure. So that's we thank you so much.
Okay, Sharon says silent O, and then she followed up with a very funny comment that I have to show you.
Okay. Yes, I know. I was thinking Snoop Dogg or whatever with Blountville for some.
Okay, so I made a presentation. It's not beautiful, but it will help you understand all the different people involved. And then once we get through the presentation, I believe we'll do some videos of Megan.
Yes, they're fascinating. So that they'll be great if you like to kind of watch for those. Benefit of watching some of these videos with Megan later is we already know that she's
guilty.
She's lying.
Well, not guilty. Well,
we know she's lying because those lies have already been proven. So we can almost look back in hindsight and see what she's. We don't have to wonder about the deception. We know it's there. We can kind of look for those cues and see what she does and that kind of thing.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Actually,
my personal opinion just came out.
We'll say she is innocent until proven guilty at this point.
Well, I think the nice thing is you're going to go over it for anybody that is new that hasn't heard of this case. This will kind of be a great overview as we get into this case, and follow it with the court cases.
So this is Evelyn May Boswell. She was last. Yes.
Hold on, real quick. I wanted to go ahead and mention that real quick.
Sure. So Real Me Too says, join us for a prayer vigil in honor of Sebastian Rogers, March 1st at 2 p.m. Celebration of Life Church at 768 Forest Retreat Road in Hendersonville, Tennessee. We mentioned that on the last live. We'll continue to update everybody on that. Make sure we get that flyer out there. I think that'll be a huge turnout for that. Hopefully, of course, we won't need to do it. It'll get canceled because we'll find Sebastian or justice will happen, whichever way it is. We'll make sure we update everybody about that on our community page. And each time we do a live as we get closer to you. Actually, before we get into this, I just want to congratulate Justin.
I was going to say the same thing.
Clutch Them Pearls. If you did not see, he got an amazing opportunity to be on the Nancy Grace show. And Tony and Seth and several other folks were on there. We'll probably get into that at some point in the future when we do another.
Will. I was hoping to have it, because I think it's coming out this week sometime. So
yeah, when we do another stream kind of focused on Sebastian, we'll talk about it too. But anyway, that great. I felt we were very happy for him. They couldn't have picked anybody much better, I don't think, because I don't know if anyone is as knowledgeable on every detail and fact of the case as Justin. And so he handled himself great, and so we were very happy for him. He's a good friend to us. But anything else you want to say on?
I was just going to read Rosebud's comment. She thinks she's going to get off like Casey Anthony. Not so.
There's some folks that are wondering about this because there are some similarities. I think this case is a little stronger, but of course it just depends on.
Right.
We've got a mystery defense here. We don't know what the evidence is. Most of it we don't know. And so this trial is going to be a bit of a surprise for a lot of us. But so this is unfortunately this is our victim here on the screen right now. This is Evelyn May Boswell. She was last seen sometime in December.
Oh, I can go to the page.
2019. So born November 21st, 2018 in Sullivan County. Her mother was Megan Boswell. Megan and Ethan Perry were just a kind of a short relationship. She was, we think, somewhere around almost 16 or 17 years old when she got pregnant. And then
I think he was 19.
Ethan, we think was 19 years old, and he was left to be in the military. So he really wasn't around. I think maybe he saw her twice or something at all. And so, she's blonde hair, blue eyes. When she went missing, she was about 20 pounds, 2 feet tall. We think she was probably around 13 months old when she passed. And according to her mother, she was last seen wearing this pink track suit with pink shoes and a pink bow. A lot of these pictures have these little bows, which is what we always did with our daughter too. So it reminds me a lot.
What a beautiful baby. I mean, how beautiful.
The child's gorgeous, so this is Evelyn, and it did turn out that when she is eventually found, she is wearing that tracksuit. I think it's got some penguins on it or something. And so this is who we need justice for, and it's one of the stories is so unimaginable. A toddler, it's just so. It's just like, is there anything more precious in the world than a 1 or 2 year old child, like a toddler? They're just. It's
Can I say something real quick? Ginger for Ob. She says beauty. She could have given her to me. And it's funny that you said that. What have I been saying?
I know.
What about, just repeat what I've said?
Well, you've been saying things along the lines of, if someone had come to you,
anybody,
as a child like this,
any of these kids,
and said, I'm in over my head, I can't handle it, Mrs. Z would have been, I'll take the baby.
Even with all the stuff we've got going on, and we've got a lot going on between autism and illnesses and things. I would say absolutely welcome. We'll find a place for you.
And we don't know the motive really either of why this child was killed. So I suppose the prosecution is going to have a theory on that. But we really don't know why. If it was a matter of her just feeling overwhelmed or not wanting to be a parent or whatever, it's just so hard to understand why she wouldn't have just put her up for adoption, taken her to a firehouse, dropped her off, anything along those lines, rather than this. It's just so hard to understand. I suspect we're getting a little more clarity maybe throughout the trial, as witnesses testify. The family's largely been kind of quiet.
That's true.
And not talking to the press. So that'll change, I guess, once the trial gets here. We'll see what their stories are. But so motive is another mystery on this case.
I just want to say hi to Kelsey, and I saw Graham come in, and Starflower, and Carol loves embroidery and crime shows. That's cute. And I don't know if I said hello to Passion Flower, but you ready to keep going?
Sure.
I wanted to ask if she has been in prison this whole time.
Yes,
she has,
and that goes along. She's got 20 charges of a variety of things. So I've got all the charges updated as of yesterday, and we're going to go over those as well.
So there's a lot of people involved in this case. So we're going to kind of go through each one because there's several people in the family that are going to play various roles and have been blamed and become suspects at different times, even as things kind of shifted. So it's a little bit complicated. So we're going to kind of take it one step at a time. But anyway, we just wanted to focus first, of course, on the person that needs justice, and this is the Evelyn. Most innocent of innocent people. Whoever harmed that little girl, of course, does not ever need to see freedom again. So that's what we're hoping for. But yes, we can go on if you like. So this is that picture is probably closer to her at the age of her death. And that's her parents who, we talked about there briefly. Ethan largely was not in the picture at all. And Megan was very young. And when this all happened, she was 18 years old. And looks really just like a child herself, acts like a child
in a lot of ways. Yeah.
It's just so hard to understand how that kind of darkness can be in something like someone so young.
Well, that's part of the reason I wanted to do this is because you guys are going to be introduced to a lot of people, and it's going to get really confusing if you are going to watch the case. So I wanted everybody to kind of have a general feel for the names and their faces, so that when you see them in the case, you'll understand who's who. So this is Evelyn. Evelyn, I'm sorry, is our victim. Megan is her mother, and Ethan Perry is her father, and he is in the military.
Yes.
Okay, this is a little bit about Megan. You want to read it?
Sure. So Megan Boswell, born March 21st, 2001 in Sullivan County, Tennessee. Her parents are Angela Boswell and Tommy Boswell. She's got, I think all of her siblings are younger. Am I right about that? There's Tommy Jr., Elijah, and Charlotte.
I can't say 100%.
I think two of them at least are younger than
two
her.
are younger, yes.
I don't know.
I
Tommy
think
Jr.
Tommy
might be
Jr.
older.
might be older.
But anyway, so she's got the three siblings there. She went to Sullivan County High School and Northeast State Community College, and she had her home life was chaotic by a lot. There was all kinds of domestic violence issues. Looks like several people were addicts throughout. Her father was charged at one point with attempted first-degree murder when he tried to run over the Angela Boswell, the grandmother of Evelyn, with a
That's not what happened.
It was the lover, right?
It was her. Well, they were estranged, and it was Angela's boyfriend.
And yeah, so Angela had a new boyfriend. He tried to run the boyfriend over, got charged with attempted murder there. There's a story about Angela stabbing Tommy in the neck with a pen.
Well, they had a tumultuous relationship, and Angela stabbed Tommy in the neck with a pin. Tommy kidnapped Angela. These are all alleged,
I think he admitted to the kidnapping.
Oh yeah, he admitted to the kidnapping. I don't know about the pin incident.
So this is not a great home life. So there's obviously all kinds of chaos for her. Her parents divorced when she's 13 years old. I guess they got back together at a point, separate again, and then Angela starts dating another gentleman we'll talk about later. And kind of, I think it's that first interview. Megan mentions being.
I'm not sure which interview it is.
It
might be the second one.
Yeah, you're right. It might be the second one. But she mentions that her family's in a gypsy culture and that they kind of embrace the gypsy culture and that they're not in a cult and this kind of thing. So it's kind of interesting.
And those are her words.
Yeah, those were her words. That's how she described her family. And the gypsy thing kind of made me think of did you ever watch the show The Riches? Did you ever watch that show with Evan Izzard?
No, Auntie wouldn't watch that. You know how she is. She was probably all Walking Dead at that point.
This is an older show.
Again, she was probably all Walking Dead at that point.
I watched Walking
Dead.
You
guys, Auntie has a flaw. She doesn't like to watch multiple shows at the same time. She commits to one show and watches it only. It's the funniest thing.
But anyway, it was a show about a family of gypsies, and the idea of the culture and it was kind of cult like was that really people are just there for you to use them, and that anything you do is justified to a certain extent. So if you steal, if you con someone, lie to them, that would be completely okay in that culture. At least that's the way the show portrayed it.
That's the way the show portrayed it. Yeah.
And I mean, it looks like law didn't mean a whole lot to this family either.
Our gypsy watched it.
Yes, it was a great show. I think it only went like 2 seasons, but it was good.
It was very well written, I thought.
Yeah.
It was. That's one of those shows we always pick the ones that get canceled. So
I am a curse to TV shows.
He is. If you like a TV show, don't tell him about it because it'll get canceled.
I'm the death knell.
We have another gypsy. They are gypsy and distant relatives. Interesting.
Oh, okay. So that's been. Yeah, we haven't dug into that part of it. I kind of wonder if that'll end up coming out during the trial at all, if that'll be mentioned. It was strange because of her making such an emphasis on it, because the reporter kind of gives her the floor, and when she could have been saying just about anything about finding her child or whatever, it was the gypsy part that she got hung up on and decided she needed to clarify. But anyway, it's kind of an odd little detail to the case. Kelsey, it's the name of the show was The Riches, like Riches.
It's very good. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, how many seasons?
Probably 2 or 3.
They basically become con artists, and they
are con artists, and they come to this town and assume some people's identity,
right? And
that are very wealthy.
And then the whole thing of the show is they kind of are liking the new life, and they're torn between the gypsy life and being normal. Is sort of what the the struggle of the cast is. So it's an interesting show.
Can I stop you for 1
Sure.
second? I would like to say thank you to Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches. She just sent us a cash app.
Oh, well,
Thank
Aw.
you so much.
hey, but thank you. so much. We
You're way
appreciate
too
it.
good to us.
We are.
Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches. It's not currently on TV, but when it was on, I believe it was FX.
Yeah, I think
So
it was.
if you type in The Riches FX, you're probably going to find it.
Yeah, it's an older show. It's got to be 15, 20 years ago,
Oh,
right?
Kelsey wants to know what show of yours was canceled. What show was it? Firefly? What were the
Yes.
other ones?
The
one
was that
about the bank
Nine?
robbery.
The Nine, was it the name of it?
Was that the bank robbery one?
Yeah, I just do that to shows all the time.
Anything he likes, it typically gets canceled.
Yeah.
Now,
Santa Clarita Diet did that for me. I was loving it, and then they canceled it.
John from Cincinnati.
he
they
liked
killed
that show too. He
Yeah.
liked that show.
Yeah, that was another.
Well, we are going to get completely demonetized tonight, just so you know.
Well, there's no
no way to
this
talk about
topic,
this. Yeah.
You can't. You might as well just throw that out the window.
Kelsey says that happens to her too. That's funny. Rolly too says poor mystery.
Sorry.
Oh, you're not the only one.
I should
Looks like everybody. Oh, look, Ginger, Gypsy, they all have this curse.
Yeah, that's funny. I should just wait until
Oh.
series are completely finished and then go back and binge them. That's the way I should do it.
That's how you should do it. Yeah.
Instead of that way, I know.
Well, I'll tell you the one we're watching right now that we really like is on CBS is Ghosts.
Surprisingly great show.
Hysterical.
Have you watched this one, Anthony?
Of course she hasn't. Are you kidding?
It's hilarious.
I've not gotten into anything at all lately.
If you just want a good laugh, Ghost is great. It's
I might
really,
like
really
that
fun.
one.
Surprisingly hilarious.
Because you know,
It looked
but-
totally cheesy and terrible, but it's great.
Here's the thing you're gonna love. It's a comedy that's actually a comedy.
It is. Yes,
I like those.
it is.
But you still haven't watched Only Murders in the Building.
I don't. I've watched it, and I just can't get into it.
Oh, well, you're wrong. So.
Well, and I'm in the outs with some of the actors on there right now.
You
so-
got to put that to. Okay, well, you won't know anybody on Ghosts, so watch
Well,
that.
that's good. That's
Okay.
good. I could watch that.
I want to say something on this Megan Boswell before we go to the next slide too. There's something about her look or her affect. She looks amused all the time to me. Do you
The way
know what I
she
mean?
holds her mouth, yeah.
It's just like
She does. She has this smirkiness to her, like she's gonna laugh, like one of those people that I had this happen when I was in school and I would be fussing at a kid about something that they had done that was wrong or inappropriate or whatever. And you'll have a few of those kids that they always look like they're smiling at you, like it's funny that they're
Yeah.
getting in trouble. And she has that look.
she looks like it there. She definitely has it in the interviews. She's got this kind of like I don't know how to even. What you're saying is right. That's the vibe.
I want to go ahead and have a drink. I'm going to go over a few things real quick. Casey Chiefs for Life says, I watched Gypsy Sister on TLC in 2013, a reality show.
Oh, that's
I didn't know
interesting.
that. That's kind of interesting. I might be interested in that. And then Baba Rose says, I was married to a Romanian gypsy for 43 years. Some gypsies, my husband's family, have, what's that say?
Maybe carnivals.
Oh, okay.
Maybe left
cool.
out the end there. Interesting.
Dreaming of Blue Skies says Murders in the Building is having a 5th season. Awesome. I actually maybe we should do that when it comes back and do a members only for people who love, because we love that show. We love talking out our theories. I will tell you, Middle E figured it out in the first episode last season.
He did.
First
He did.
episode, he was like, that's who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it. Usually that's my job. I usually figure it out within one season, or within one episode or two. He got it that time.
Yeah.
He was very good.
Good evening, R. Taylor.
And one of our
Yes.
friends also gave us something else. If you guys like to solve stuff, what's the thing? What's that thing called?
The box. Or
The
something?
box. It's a Neil Patrick Harris game, and you have to solve. You get a box, and you have to solve all these things. It's awesome.
Cool.
It's really cool.
It took us a little while.
Is it kind of like an escape room, but a box?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
That's a cool idea. I always wondered how you could replicate an escape room at home.
Yeah, the box is the game. You're just trying
That's
to get through the
cool.
box.
And what's
it's
neat
What a
is
great
amazing.
idea.
here's the
Yeah.
best part. You can reset it and then give it to somebody else to solve.
Oh, cool.
And
So-
he encourages that.
Yeah, it's going around the neighborhood, so people are. Yeah.
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 So one of our neighbors that you know brought it over, and we did it, and we had the best time doing it.
Awesome.
And then he's got, I think we did box 2, so there's also box 1. So we're gonna look at box
That
1.
is so cool.
Yeah. I just want to say hi to some people who've come in a little bit later.
Sure.
Detroit Rock City. Mr. E, Mrs. E, Aunt E. Hello, everyone. Middle E, hope you're feeling better. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. Oh, and Nana. Nana just got off work.
Hi, Nana.
I just love Nana. I just do.
Oh,
She's just great. And R. Taylor is here.
Nana's got a
Welcome in,
great
R.
laugh.
Taylor. Oh, yes, she does.
She's got one of those laughs. It's just great.
All right. Oh, sorry. I'm way behind. Oh, Passion Flower agrees that Ghost is a great sitcom. What?
Yeah, I haven't been scrolling at all.
I'm doing really bad. Let's see. I just want to make sure we say hi to everybody because we actually have a smaller crowd than usual, and that's okay because we get to really see everybody's comments and it's not flying. So I love that. Hot Mess, welcome. Grace upon Grace, welcome. All right. And R. Taylor, I believe R. Taylor became is a member that is renewing. I don't know why it says it's brand new, but welcome back, R. Taylor. We appreciate you.
Kind of have a little gap where people probably weren't renewing.
That's true.
Because we were gone 6 or 7 weeks almost. So we're going to have a lot of those, I think.
Victoria Burgess, welcome. I got time today. Love your name. Welcome. And Grace upon Grace says, I'm looking forward to the Megan Boswell trial next week. We are too.
It'll be interesting. We just really don't know how this is going to play out. We don't know motive. We don't know who did what exactly. We don't know who in the family may or may not have been involved. We don't know what our defense is going to be. So there's going to be a lot to kind of unravel.
Okay, well, let's get back to it.
Yeah. So
now this is some more people that you'll need to know.
So this is the biological father of Megan, Tommy Boswell, and his wife Angela, the mother that we were talking about earlier, that had all kinds of criminal issues with drugs abuse, and with Tommy at least an attempted murder with the vehicle.
Kidnapping
and a kidnapping that he admitted to, I guess, at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So just a wild home life for her. But you're going to see those names a lot because several people end up getting the finger pointed at them at different times before Evelyn is eventually found.
Okay, and then we've already gone over Megan and Ethan Perry are the parents, or were the parents of of Evelyn.
Yes.
All right, next one. Now it's a little more. It's going to get more confusing.
Yeah. This is the main group here. So William McLeod ends up being the boyfriend of Angela at the time that Evelyn is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in the picture there. Does he have a criminal record also? I'm guessing. I think everybody did.
Are you kidding? Just look at them.
Yeah, it'd be shocking if he didn't.
Now.
They just look criminal.
Actually, these are all mugshots, except for except for Evelyn, obviously, Ethan and Hunter.
And then Hunter Wood is a kind of not a boyfriend exactly, is he? But just or is he? They're kind of a
we'll get into it. Very short-lived, but he's brought into it. Let me just put it that way. A Hot Mess was asking if we're going. I wish we could go, but unfortunately we cannot because of our son right now. And also asking if it's going to be televised. I believe it is, and Real Me Too is going to send me that link, so I will share it with all you guys in our comments on our community post. And another thing I wanted to say to Nana, she said she was really she was bad laughing last night. Yes, I heard that, and your laugh is contagious. So I was laughing at your laugh because you were so tickled last night. So anyway, sorry.
And Baba Rose says those people don't look like gypsies at all.
Well,
did they mean it I wondered if they meant it if they meant it more like in a cultural way, just more like gypsy lifestyle or something rather than actual gypsies. So that's what I was uncertain about.
Thank you, Nana. That's very sweet. And also, I wanted to say, I saw Woman's Warrior is actually starting a channel. I do not have the link with me right now, but I will be sharing that for you, Women's Warrior, as soon as we I just didn't have time to get it together tonight because we ran in from the movies. We took the kids to the movies.
Is she doing a true crime channel?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
So congratulations on that, and we'll do whatever we can to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's awesome.
All right, back to it.
Someone did ask if they've said how long they expect this trial to last.
I read somewhere today 2 to 4 weeks is what they're estimating.
Mm-hmm.
And so tomorrow's the jury selection. So that's kind of why we wanted to get on this tonight. We would have liked to have done it earlier, really, but
Gypsy says their English Gypsy's different. Ooh, maybe we need to explore that. Gypsy seems to know. Maybe we should have Gypsy come on sometime and explain the difference.
Okay, well that's good to know. I'm just kind of curious because it's just a topic I don't know a lot about, so I might kind of look into it and just see what the culture's like with the.
Our other Gypsy says they are not travelers, so it's fascinating because we actually talked about doing a whole episode on it because it's just fascinating.
Just the culture of it, the history of it, what it means.
And I forgot to mention Gypsy. Hope in the Shadows, Gypsy Nielsen also does have a channel as well. I do not have the link handy though. I'm sorry, but anyway, everybody support everybody. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. So these are the names you're going to see a lot throughout.
So if you're making notes, screenshot this real quick so you can it'll help you going forward.
We will probably just put this up occasionally just as we're talking about the folks.
Yes. All right. So now we're going to get into the background. So go ahead.
Yeah. So Evelyn May Boswell, a 15-month-old girl from Blountville, Tennessee, was reported missing on February 18th, 2020. Though she had not been seen by family members or friends since December of 2019, her disappearance was reported by her grandfather, Tommy Boswell, who grew concerned after not seeing Evelyn for an extended period.
Okay.
And you're going to see that all the time on a lot of the flyers and things about her being 15 months old. She, didn't actually ever reach that age, but would have been that age when she disappeared. So that's why you'll see that often, but she was really closer to 13 months. So in 2019, sometime around December 10th or 11th, the police at one point said that the last credible sighting of Evelyn was by a babysitter. So that's according to the Sullivan County Sheriff, Jeff Cassidy. On February 18th of 2020, CPS calls the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department. And Megan said that she was supposed to pick up Evelyn from her father, Ethan Perry, that afternoon.
And I want to point out that the person that reported that Evelyn was missing was her grandfather, Tommy Sr. So he reported it to CPS. CPS called the Sheriff's Department, and then they went and, reached out to Megan, and Megan said that Evelyn was with her father.
And I thought I saw somewhere that he had mentioned that he had last seen her sometime just before Christmas, but I don't know if we have an exact date.
He did. I remember seeing that. He said that in an interview.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess he's trying to reach out and see her. I don't know how often he typically would see her, but it appears that what must have been going on is for a couple of months, weeks, not seeing the little girl around. He starts to grow suspicious or concerned.
Well, and then Megan lived with him. So there's that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
How often was he around? Did she have a good excuse that she gave about her not being there? I don't know. But for whatever reason, he became concerned enough to make this call on the 18th.
Women's Warrior is explaining what her channel is going to be. Will you read it?
Women's Warrior says it's the mitigating factors of true crime. So we'll be covering DV, CA community channel and offering support for recovery from trauma, etc. for subscribers.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's great.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. And then Ginger Girl's mom says the proper term is Roma, not Gypsy. We're just using the term that Megan used. So yeah. We're not trying to be disrespectful to any culture or anything. It's just that's the term she used. And we have an interview we'll be showing that. So
that's interesting. I mean, I'm going to end up kind of looking into this just to see.
Fascinating.
Just to see what that's all about. Because if there's a culture at play, that might play a role in what happened to Evelyn.
My husband's great aunt is a gypsy.
Okay. Will you text me which one?
Yeah.
Have I met this person?
Mm-mm.
Auntie's full of surprises tonight.
I forgot all about her though. She's in her 90s now. But she's still she's in an assisted living, but she's very much a gypsy.
Interesting.
And Sharon Shelton says that Tommy saw her at Thanksgiving.
Okay. So
And Wait Watt says so. CPS report to SO. Interesting.
right. The way things should happen.
Yes. No kidding.
Yeah.
Aw, thank you for coming in, Justin. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Justin. We appreciate it.
And
very
then
much.
Gypsy says, as a half, I'm going to be bad at pronouncing. Is it Cinti?
Sure.
And Roma Gypsy. I'm not offended by the term gypsy.
Yeah, it's just something I don't know really much about at all. So I'm going to look into it just because I want to learn about it. Really.
And Shirley Batista says that's the term my friend uses. So awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's get back to it. So this was her Amber Alert.
So so this is
I just thought everybody would want to see it. This is what her Amber Alert looked like.
Yeah, the one to the right looks much younger.
Mm-hmm.
So the one to the left, I'm guessing, is closer, and there's a video of her too that's just so sweet. If you're walking around in the living room,
that TBI put up, yes. Yeah. I can probably find that if we want to show it in a minute. Okay, so back to the timeline.
Yeah, so she's reported missing on the 18th. By February 21st, the sheriff, Jeff Cassidy, holds a press conference on the Amber Alert and issues a be on the lookout for a gray BMW with Tennessee tags. Later that evening, Megan's mother, Angela Boswell, and her boyfriend, William McLeod, are arrested in Wilkes County, North Carolina on a charge of stolen property. Megan Boswell did an interview outside the Bristol family court. And so if you saw the graphic we had earlier, William McLeod was that boyfriend with Angela, the mother. And
do you want to take a break and watch a little of that interview, or do you want to keep going?
Sure, we can.
However you guys want to do it.
That might be good, actually, to go ahead and do this interview just so you can kind of see what her reaction was and what she was claiming at that time.
Okay. I might speed it up a little bit, guys, just so that because it is a 10-minute long interview.
We could stop every few minutes if you like.
You should be able to pause it on your screen as well. Yeah, we'll do that. So let me.
So this is just 3 days after she's reported missing.
Oops, that's not what I was trying to do. Hold on. That's what I'm trying to do. There we go. All right. And I know this one is going to be a little bit low, guys. There's nothing I can do about the volume on this. So
you might want to turn it up as high as you can on your end.
Well, I don't want to,
No, I'm talking about our viewers.
Well, I'm worried that you maybe are just having hearing issues.
No, I'm just saying they might want to turn it up a little bit.
I know. I don't want to blow their ears out. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to push play.
Things and personality wise, I know, like looking on TV and just kind of seeing a picture, it's a lot harder to, envision a baby. Like her favorite food is like sweet potato. She's really sweet. She loves to give people kisses. Favorite song is Baby Shark. Just like that kind of stuff.
Can you tell me what's her favorite toy?
She has a little Baby Shark puppet.
What would y'all do together?
Well, she loves to take baths.
There's a better one of this. Hold on, guys. There's a better one of this. I don't know why this one is so weird. Let me keep looking. I don't know. I mean, I must have gotten this from somebody else. Hold on. You can talk.
Yeah, people are that little smirk and the laugh the whole time.
It's almost like she can't hold back laughter.
Yeah.
As she's answering the questions.
Let me find there's a better one. I don't know why I have this one.
It's hard not
Somebody
to think.
said WCYB Channel 5 will be there as well. So that is one of the news stations that's planning to be at the trial.
Good.
That's from Sharon.
You guys
Yeah,
talk for
Real
a
Me
second.
Too's right. She says the reporter did an amazing job, kept the questions coming. Yeah, that's true. They did. They really did do a good job of
She asked a lot of questions.
Yeah. And keeping her going. But she has that little nervous laugh throughout. She has that little smile the whole time.
Why can I find it? Okay.
It's
That's gonna bug me.
It's just it's like she's just not connected and missing her child too.
And Shirley says she's weird. Her child is missing, and she doesn't even seem sad. Every interview with her is very similar. She just has a really odd response to everything that's said to her.
Oh, I found one on Facebook.
Okay. And she just acts really bizarre.
Hold on, I'm gonna get that one ready. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and I compare her responses to other crimes that are currently, we've been studying in other crimes, and I do see some similarities. Somebody reminds them of other people that they've seen respond to questions.
Well, that's part of the reason I named this video what I did, because I think there's going to be a lot to learn here. I think that we're going to learn a lot about. I don't know. There's just I think there's a lot to learn. I think there's probably going to be cell phone stuff. There's going to be a lot of different things that Cellbrite technology. I'm guessing because, she's pleading not guilty. So they're going to have to prove their case, right?
For sure.
I can't think of who said this, but it was during the Sebastian disappearance issue. But somebody said to me at one point, when you're talking about someone like this, that's not a career criminal, they're going to have made a lot of mistakes. It's not like she's done things like this in the past. And so people have said, also with Sebastian, people that are responsible for his disappearance, it's not like they're likely to have been career criminals. They're going to have made mistakes. So I think she probably left evidence all over the place that we don't know about yet.
Okay, so I want to make sure this is turned up, and here we go, guys.
As I know, like looking on TV and just kind of seeing a picture, it's a lot harder to, envision a baby. Like her favorite food is like sweet potatoes. She's really sweet. She loves to give people kisses. Favorite song is Baby Shark.
I don't know why this is off.
Just like that kind of stuff.
Can you tell me what's her favorite toy?
She has a little Baby Shark puppet.
What would y'all do together?
Well, she loved to take baths. That was her favorite thing. And she had little shark toys that swim in the bath and stuff like that.
Hold on. I'm going to try. Sorry, guys. That's going to bother me. That drives me nuts.
Is the sound matching up to her speaking for you?
Not for me, but I thought maybe it was because of StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's StreamYard or...
It's so weird. Hold on. Can you all hear that ad?
I don't see anything here now.
Okay. Why is it? Okay, here we go. Hold on. We might. Oh, my stars. This is making me so irritated. It said if you want to watch the whole interview, you can watch it here. Oh. Okay, hold on. We might have it. All right. Okay. Let's try this one. Sorry, guys.
I'll tell you about like her favorite things and personality wise. I know
it's better
like, on TV and just kind of seeing a picture, it's a lot harder to, envision a baby. Like her favorite food is like sweet potatoes. She's really sweet. She loves to give people kisses. Favorite song is Baby Shark. Just like that kind of stuff.
Can you tell me what's her favorite toy?
She has a little Baby Shark puppet.
What would y'all do together?
Well, she loved to take baths. That was her favorite thing. She had shark toys that swim in the bath and stuff like that.
How old is she now?
She's 15 months today, actually.
Can you tell me a little bit? Like, so you said she's she's sweet with everybody, or just
she is.
Sorry.
Everybody.
Can you tell me a little bit about like how you're feeling? Do you miss her? Are you worried?
Of course, I miss her, and like, I can't tell anything about the ongoing investigation, but I'm sure you all have released an article about the car and stuff like that. We have a pretty good idea of who has her. I mean, if they're watching, I just want them to bring her back.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them if they're watching?
I just want her back. That's my child.
I'm sorry. I know this must be hard. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about her? Do you have any pictures of her? Have you been looking?
Not on me, no.
Not on you. Have you been looking at photos and stuff of her while you're? How are you coping with all of it?
Let me pause.
Yeah, just for a second. One of the things she did refer to her in the past tense already there, and then this whole situation where she's pointing at the stolen car. Of course, that ends up being her mother that she is blaming for taking Evelyn, which is incredible anyway. Anything you kind of pick up on that, Auntie, or besides that?
Well, I agree with the nosy. Her smile and laugh reminds me of Susan Smith's interview and even Chris Watts. I don't know about Chris, but definitely I remember Susan's interview,
Oh,
and she had that same kind of mannerisms. But I think that she is much more like everything's a joke. I mean, it's almost like she has to. It's almost like it's a reflex to every answer. It's like. She puts it in every time that the reporter asks her a question.
Women's Warrior, thank you so much. Yes, Grizzly True Crime is a great channel. I actually have the documents myself as well, but I don't know if we're going to get into that tonight. We might just kind of do a cursory because I know you got most of our fans or our subscribers are fairly new to this, so. We wanted to kind of just do a cursory thing and not go too deep tonight. But thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And Romy too said she believes it's a nervous smirk, very immature. And yeah, I think there's a lot of big level.
She's a baby herself.
Yeah, she's young. She's very young.
In the grand scheme of things, she's very young. All right. Want to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go another couple minutes.
I mean,
until there's something that sticks out.
If you could tell her anything now, what would you say to her?
I love her and I miss her, and that I'll be with her as soon as I can get to her any way I can.
Is there anything
I thought that was interesting where she says, as soon as I can get to her.
Yeah.
that you can tell us about like, what kind of baby she is? I know you said that it's hard to see.
She's a happy.
Hold on, guys. I want you to know that our son with autism's in the background. He's scripting. So if you hear somebody talking, that's who it is.
She did produce real tears there, didn't she?
Yeah.
She does have some tears falling.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, she hardly ever cries. She wants to wave and talk to everybody. She walks funny. She doesn't know how to pick her feet up, so she kind of wobbles.
Is she talkative?
She is.
What,
she giggles a lot. You'll smile at her, she'll just start giggling. She's very happy.
And so you said she is talkative. Is full sentences? Like what milestones has she met? Like she's smart.
She is. She hit every milestone early. She can almost say I love you. She's not fully got to sentences yet, but she does say a lot of words.
You must be so proud of her.
I am. When Baby Shark plays, she tries to like dance with them and sing it.
You said that's her favorite song. Do you do the puppet with her a lot? And I know all of this is very hard. Can you tell me like how you're feeling?
I just want her back. That's all I want.
Are you feeling worried or anything along those lines?
Yeah. Well, the reason I didn't report it or anything is because I knew the person who had her, and I didn't want them to run away with her. And as soon as they thought anything was going on, they just kind of vanished. So I'm just.
Okay, I just want to point out, as soon as she started into the lying, the tears stopped.
Yeah, she turns it on and off. She does that. Yeah,
like where they're at, what they're doing with her at this point in time.
So you do know who has her? Can you tell us who that is, or you don't?
I can't release anything further about that. I'm sure they will at the press conference, but further than that, I can't say anything.
And
that's familiar.
You do know who has her. Are you worried about her safety?
Well, now I am, because they won't answer phone calls. They've just kind of disappeared.
What is it like to? I'm assuming that you trusted this person. How has this trust been broken? What's been going on with that?
It has definitely been broken after this.
Have you spoken to your father about this process? Are you having?
Yeah. There's something else she does all the time through these where she says her statement and then she kind of does this little glance down and it almost feels like you can see the mask drop for a second while she kind of regroups and gets like the act drops for just a second when she does that little glance to her feet or whatever. She does it over and over, but it's almost like you can see. Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like you can actually see the mask dropping. Thought Criminal says, that's a great name. It's always fascinating how they think nobody can see through the lies.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, her lies are just outrageous.
And Nana's got picked up a good one too.
Yeah, she bites her lips. Her mouth gets really, gives her away.
Oh, Taibei Lux. I just want her back. Vanished. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities. There's the using the excuse of that law enforcement won't let them speak.
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah, it does.
It sounds familiar to me. Yes. All right, let's move on. Let's see.
Dreaming of Blue Skies and Sandy Beaches says, who did she say or claim had her child? I think she was referring to her mother at this point, but she didn't say that.
At this point, it started out. I mean, we're going to go through those one by one here shortly. We just kind of wanted you to get a feel for Megan before we go forward.
Yeah, so this is kind of the first public lie that she does, and she changes these stories a lot.
Welcome in, Lady Tit
but
for Tat.
It looks like this initial story was her trying to blame Evelyn's disappearance on her mother.
Yes.
No.
Or from your family?
Yeah, my grandma's very supportive. She always is.
That's good. But you haven't spoken to him at all.
Mm-mm.
When was the last time you saw her?
In December.
And what was that last day like? Was it a good day? I think it was about around Christmas, right? Can you tell me about that?
It was a good day. She had a little pink bow in her hair and a little Puma tracksuit on. It was hot pink.
And what, like, I know that you're hoping that she'll be returned shortly. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the person or the people that have her that you think they should hear from you?
They should just bring her back. They obviously know like what's going on and like, they need to bring her back home.
And you said that you trusted this person. So when did you realize that trust might have been broken?
Well, when they just kind of took off and wouldn't answer anybody.
Around when was that?
Whenever this whole thing started.
Okay. All right.
Okay. That was interesting too to me. So do you want to address it or you
It's
want
just
me to?
vague. It's just vague.
She won't answer the question. She's talking in circles.
Yeah, there's no specific
When this whole thing started,
Yeah.
What is that? 2 days ago, a month ago, she's been gone.
Nothing specific.
Yeah.
How many days was this interview after she supposedly saw her?
This is on
February 21st.
So she hadn't seen her child supposedly since December, right before Christmas. And this is February, and she still doesn't know where her child's at.
Well, it started out with her saying that the child was with her biological father, with Evelyn's biological father, Ethan Perry. We're going to go through there's tons of them. There's tons of different stories.
But this is almost 2 months later that she's doing this first interview.
Yeah, but this is like her first story. Yeah, first story to the press anyway.
Yeah, and then in just a matter of a few days, the story changes. Not even a week.
Every time it falls apart, she just invents a new story, basically.
Yeah.
So, one thing that's kind of interesting, there may be some truth somewhere in all these stories.
There might be.
We just don't know which story has a grain of truth to it. Because we really don't know. We really don't know exactly what.
I think it's going to be curious with her on the stand.
Absolutely.
After having told so many stories. Is she going to have picked a story to go with this time? What's her response going to be with a not guilty plea? How is she going to?
Exactly.
It's amazing.
That's why it's fascinating. That's why it's fascinating to me. Obviously, I want justice for the child, which that's my first priority. But this is fascinating to me, the amount of stories that have been told.
Yes, it's outrageous. It's incredible.
And when we were reading the court documents, she has had a mental evaluation, and I think that passed the mental evaluation. So
I thought Women Warriors comments good. If you want to read that, Mr. E.
Sure. I haven't seen anything of this case yet so fresh to me. What I find intriguing is how these parents and personality types stay the same without even knowing each other, etc.
Oh, you just wait. There's more.
Yeah. There's some patterns.
Yeah, I agree.
Can you tell me a little bit more about like how you're feeling? I know all of this is scary and everything. Can you tell
It
me
is.
about
I just want her back.
that? Mhm.
That's all I can think about. Is just getting her back.
Is there anything the community can do to help you?
No. Other than look for her. I know they released the car information and the tag number and stuff like that. Just any leads at all, they need to like call us so we can go check them out.
Has anyone like have you gotten any information from me that's been helpful, or have you just kind of been listening?
I don't really know. They've all been looking at leads and stuff like that. I mean, they are working their butts off.
Has the the sheriff's office been keeping you in the loop?
They have been.
How's that been going? Has that been good? Positive?
It is good.
Good. And I know that you said that you're getting a lot of support from your family. Are they like helping you going to court meetings?
Yeah, they didn't know I had court today, or I'm sure my grandma would have been there.
Did you keep it from them? Or?
I mean, I've just not really talked to them that much today, to be honest. And like I said, stuff was going on like while we were sitting in the courtroom, and I couldn't, well, not while, but like, you know, waiting to go to court, and like I just couldn't tell her exactly what was going on.
So you said like you haven't been sharing with your family or anything either?
No.
How's that? Not being able to confide in
I mean, the police officers are very nice, especially like Sergeant Matt Price and stuff like that. I can talk to him or like them, and they've been like really helpful this whole time. They really have been.
Anything else that you think that people should know about Evelyn, about like what makes her so special?
She's just a very sweet baby. She's got, you know, the little dimples on her face.
Do you think she looks like you?
No, she definitely looks like her dad, but she does have my eyes.
That's good. You have very pretty eyes.
Thank you. She's the cutest baby ever. So you'll know it's her when you see her. She loves everybody. She tries to kiss everybody on the cheek.
That little look.
Oh yeah.
It's that she does it. It's like the mask drops for a second.
Wow.
She waved to everybody. She's very friendly. She's very friendly and sweet. So,
when hopefully you're reunited with her, what will be the first thing that you do?
just hug her. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but like I miss how she smells and like her laugh. And, like,
See, I think that's genuine.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's genuine right there. I really do.
Yeah.
I just want to hold her.
So I know that this must be like you're missing your baby, and then there's been trust broken, right, as well. Are you worried about her safety?
I mean, in a way, yes, just because we can't find, you know, the car or nothing like that. But they have exhausted almost every option, you know what I'm saying? They're working around the clock. They have a whole room of people up there like dedicated just finding her, and I appreciate that.
Do you think that they are going to find her?
I do. I have full confidence.
You do. Are you feeling hopeful?
I am.
Can you tell me about that? Like, what keeps you going? What's giving you hope? And
The team up there is just honestly really good. They're all really good, and I can like confidently say that, you know, like when I'm not up here, I know that they're doing their best to find her. I'm not worried that when I'm not up here, they're not like, you know, just sitting around and twiddling their thumbs. I know that they are trying genuinely.
Do you have any regrets about not involving police sooner? I know that.
Well, sort of, but also in a way, I knew that as soon as anything went down, you know, the person was going to just disappear, and they have, and they've tried to find them. They are going to find them, and I know that they'll bring her back to me.
You feel fully confident then. That's good. But if you could do this all over again, is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, I probably called the first day. I should have, but I just didn't want them to run with her like they have now.
Did you ever expect them to run with her?
I knew that if anything really happened and anybody got involved, they probably would.
It's just an incoherent story, you know?
Right.
It's just an incoherent story.
Well, and why was she in court that day? What was the reason? Since because Sharon said she had a CPS case that day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I hadn't come across that yet either.
So I'm just wondering, she obviously she had been reported missing, but her reason for being in court had nothing to do with that.
Right.
But
And
Sharon was the one that said she had a CPS case that day.
And hello, Seclusion Works. Welcome in. We appreciate you. Listening with headphones. Let's see. And Noisy ASF. I'm curious about her digital footprint. Me too. This is why, because I think that we're going to get to see, some of the new technology that we have not seen lately.
Oh yeah.
And see how it works.
And I bet
I think we are going to learn a lot.
I bet she took her phone everywhere she went with this too.
And Seclusion Works says her head nodding yes is odd.
Yes, it is.
It is.
And she does the whole time.
Yeah. And the laughing,
she's laughing.
the constant laughing. And she does it in all those interviews.
She got served CPS papers at her boyfriend's parents' house. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So that'll come into play in the trial too.
Well, was it, Sharon, do you know if the CPS was related to the disappearance or another allegation against her before the disappearance?
Oh, I would say it's something before, because it takes a while to get into the court system.
Right.
Well,
wow, this is interesting. Women's Warrior.
What?
Saying my ex-partner was of a certain personality type and he didn't have emotion. I caught him once many years ago practicing in the mirror different emotions. It was shocking to say the least.
Like Dexter.
Well,
Dexter did that, remember?
Yeah.
He would practice. Sorry.
Someone I was listening to was talking about psychopaths, and they get very good at mimicking and doing these things, and it's just they're actors. It's an act. But yeah, like Dexter, that's the same.
Dreaming of Blue Skies, it says, was she living alone? She was actually living at her father's house with her two younger siblings. He had about 10 acres. On the news, they call it a compound, but I mean, it's a farm to me because it's 10 acres. It's not.
That's why it's hard to understand December through almost the end of February before this gets reported, where someone didn't know, that something strange had happened in over 2 months,
Seclusion Works.
I don't know.
Says, might I point out that her voice doesn't match her breathing?
Oh, that's good.
That's interesting.
Well, and was it Casey Chief said that she was living alone?
Huh.
And that also said, I think that's why boyfriend's parents didn't want her to stay there anymore.
See, I mean, I've heard multiple stories here. I've heard that she was living with her dad. I do not know. But now they did have a 10-acre property with several structures. So is it possible she was living on the property in a trailer?
Very well. That's probably what it was.
I can show you guys that later if we want to get into
and
that.
Sharon said, yes, she did she lived in a trailer.
Still having Christmas roll by and nobody see her is weird.
I mean, did they not celebrate Christmas with their family at all? That they would have a child there and have Christmas and Santa?
No, I think her story at that point was that Evelyn was with her visiting the father for the holidays.
Oh, okay, so that's what she was telling everyone.
Yes. So this is story number 2 so far.
That could be believable.
Yeah.
If you don't know.
Yeah. KC Chiefs for Life says it was her dad's trailer. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here so much, especially those of you who followed it as it was going along. It's very helpful.
Got a few people that live nearby, so I'm sure they're very familiar with the story too.
Oh, Seclusion Works.
That's a good point.
Her voice is slow cadence, but she is rapid breathing, stress and fear. Interesting. I wonder what people would say about my voice.
Well, let's finish up this interview and then go on.
We'll go on and do
rest.
some more stuff.
There's only about a minute of this left.
Somebody, he's scripting big time tonight.
Yeah,
he's very excited. Can you, Aunt E, can you pick it up are you picking it up on the mic?
Yeah, what I've been doing some is muting Mr. E because it was coming across so loud. And when you mute him, you can hear the interview actually better.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to hit play.
She was with them if you were worried about this?
They were watching her for me while I went to work.
So it was like a babysitting type childcare situation. But you thought they might run with her?
No, until they took her, no. Then after that, I was like, well, if anything happens, I'm worried they will run with her. And to be honest with you, I won't lie, I didn't know how good the team was up here. And if I did, I would have called the second that I realized. They are very good. Like I said, they are doing everything they can. And I'm very confident in that. And that makes the situation a lot easier.
And so you said that, when did you realize that they had completely disappeared?
Like I said, I can't release anything like specific. I'm sure they will at the press conference, but.
So anything else you'd like to add? Anything that you want to tell me about Evelyn?
Her favorite food is sweet potatoes. She's allergic to carrots.
She's allergic to carrots. What else does she like?
She loves those little applesauce pouches.
Yeah.
She's very smart. Like, even she quit her own sippy cup at 6 months old. Or not a sippy cup, but she quit a bottle, I'm sorry. And went straight to a sippy cup. And, like, I would leave her snacks on the floor, like in the little containers. And she'd open them up herself and, like, get one at a time. Like, she's just a very smart, very good baby. And I just want her back.
You just must be so proud of her.
I am.
Is there anything that you would like to say to her?
That I love her and that I will find her. She'll be back as soon as humanly possible.
Anything else you think people should know?
No, not at this moment.
Let me stop sharing that one.
So I'm going to guess in real time when that interview happened, people were kind of all,
Feeling terrible for her, right?
you think? You
I
think
don't
people
know.
were
Let's
saying-
I think from the get-go, to me, it's obvious.
See,
that looks weird to me. The laughing, she looks so amused.
but I think that
It doesn't seem real.
just like with other cases, though, at first you want to help, but you want to believe that there's nothing nefarious going on.
Yeah, but that laughter throughout and the smiling the whole time is just.
And who leaves their baby?
I'm going to guess the public
floor?
didn't buy that.
Well, see, I
when
didn't
it
know
happened.
about it until earlier this year, or I didn't follow it or enough to see these interviews. So I don't know. I just
Yeah.
Well, and some that was good. I was getting ready to click on that one. That was a very good point.
What can you tell us about her? Sam Sebastian food. It's strange.
kind of it's fascinating.
It's like not the person, not the personality. What do they eat? Like, that's what's important. It is weird.
It is bizarre. And Rogue, welcome in. It's so nice to see
It's
you.
been a long time.
And all I need is Jesus Coffee and True Crime. Welcome in. I believe that's formerly Nicole. Welcome in. We're happy to see you guys. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just a weird thing to.
And Roll Me Too says humanly possible. Yeah.
Well,
and leaving
I thought,
snacks on the floor for a 6-month-old.
I know. Well, another thing she says, and to be honest. Okay, well, obviously she's trying to convince us that she's being honest. That's that's just one of those telltale signs.
Well, I will say a lot of people, especially on YouTube, say that a lot, and I have started to pick it up, and I've had to stop myself because it sounds so deceptive.
Well, that's my husband said that's his pet peeve. He'll say, "Don't say that, to be honest, or to tell the truth," because that's insinuating that you don't normally, but now you are.
Right.
And
it's a qualifier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's a comedian that used to have a bit like that. That's something like, "Can I be honest with you?" No, please be as deceptive and manipulative as possible.
And I got time today. Says, when I saw that interview, I knew she was guilty. See, I already knew she was guilty when I saw the interview. So I wish I had seen it without knowing.
I bet most people leaned toward that being a problem back then. Is that laughing and her lack of concern and that story being so off, even if you're not like super into picking up on the deceptive stuff.
Okay. So
I think that would have stuck out.
Terry is saying, I hope they find the evidence they took from the trailer. See, what I found is that the trailer they took evidence from was her brother's. So, it's so crazy how much is out there about this. So we could be wrong about some of this stuff. So please correct us. Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Welcome in. I need to make Josh a mod. I keep forgetting.
So we don't have a fake Josh.
We don't want a fake Josh.
Yeah.
Will you read that?
Detroit Rock City says, my son's ex would laugh at the most inappropriate times. We were at my aunt's funeral, and during my cousin's speech honoring his mother, everyone was crying. She burst out laughing. So bizarre.
That is weird.
Yeah. It's like not quite getting those social. Yeah.
Well, I lost Josh. He's like, forget it. I don't want any part of it. No, I just do that so I don't have a fake Josh come in.
How about to be crystal clear? Does she use that? Did she say?
No, I think that what they're doing is
Comparing it.
Like
To be crystal clear,
honest.
kind of like to tell the truth or
Yeah.
to be honest. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Seclusion work says oversharing. I agree. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody does the to be honest or what, it's like just saying that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just when you stack it all up with
Mhm.
everything else is when it. Yeah.
And
Split it.
Janice says she lied from the start.
Yeah, she did. Really undeniable. It's just a matter of which lie,
Well,
if any of the many lies is actually close to the truth or not.
Mhm.
well, there's a lot of similarities, that I'm noticing. So I want to go back to the timeline. Okay, so we
Sure.
did that interview
Yeah.
outside the Bristol Family Court,
So
and
that-
that was on February 21st. Now, remember, she was reported missing on the 18th. Okay.
Right. So that's 3 days
Oops,
later she
sorry.
does that interview.
On the 18th is
And
when she
they're-
was reported missing.
By that time, they're looking for the mom and the
Boyfriend.
boyfriend, McLeod, for the stolen car. So 3 days later, February 24th, Angela Boswell and William McLeod appeared in court on the charge in North Carolina. Angela was later extradited to Tennessee that evening. So, and then Megan did a second interview accusing her mother of giving Evelyn to someone at a campground. So that lie gets even weirder.
Oh, it's bizarre.
That's
That's the one where she says she's going to go get the baby if TBI doesn't do it that night.
And then the next day, February 25th, Megan was arrested on one charge of false reporting. So one of these lies, I guess, since they kind of
Okay.
contradict,
Right.
they decide to go ahead and arrest her and charge her with that.
What's fascinating is one of the interviews that the one that she does that night is, on her front porch. The next interview I have for her, she's wearing the shirt she gets arrested in. So she's arrested after the interview.
Right. So they knew. They had a pretty good idea that she was a problem
Right.
within the first few days, I'm sure. Then February 26, 2020, a pond search was conducted on the same road where Angela Boswell and William McLeod were arrested.
Yes. Apparently, reports are that they were going to visit William McLeod's grandmother. And she thought that the reports are that William McLeod showed up like soaking wet to her house.
Oh, yeah.
And so apparently the grandma thought that was a little sketchy. So I don't know if she turned him in. I don't know. But at any rate, so they went ahead and searched that pond.
Yeah. So Sharon says the campground was a flat out lie about the Mendota River. My house is less than 8 minutes from there and no campgrounds. I didn't know that they don't even have a campground. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
So that no wonder they didn't go check it out, because she later complains about TBI not getting on it and checking out the campsite. But
I'm telling you, if you guys
no
would
campsite
prefer,
exists.
I mean, we can keep going, or we can show you that other interview. The other interview is fascinating too. They're all equally fascinating. So it's up to you. We can show a little bit and talk about it, or we can keep going with the timeline. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah,
I'm asking everybody.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the interview.
Okay.
We're at that point.
Someone says there is a medical diagnosis called pseudobulbar effect, inappropriate reaction.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is.
Not
Well,
heard of
I
that
believe,
one.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Another pond involved.
Several people want the interview.
Okay, let's do the
Yeah.
interview. We're not terribly.
Plus,
fascinated.
these lies are some of the charges that she's actually facing. Of her 20 charges, a lot of these are this false reporting.
Right.
So we're kind of going through each crime.
I like
Right.
thought
she
criminals
Right.
finding a lot of similarities, I think.
Yeah.
Well, there's Is it 12?
This one
counts?
might have more even than that first interview.
Oh, this one's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me see. Is it 12 counts of false reporting? Something like that.
It's over 10.
I guess every lie she tells is considered a false report.
Well, I mean,
So we don't know what she said behind closed doors.
True.
Right.
True.
So we don't know what she said in the interrogation. So did she change her story 10 different times? You know, it's
well, that's what
she changes it a lot.
Well, like Aunt E said, it's going to be fascinating if she goes on the stand here. It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
But
it was,
because I mean, she's told so many things.
All right, Auntie, go ahead and mute Mr. E.
Okay.
Loves everybody. She's never been mean ever, which I'm very thankful for. She's just a really good-hearted baby in general. Like textbook how you want a baby to be, like has hit every milestone early, you know what I mean? Well, when she was 6 months old, she actually put a bottle on her own. It went straight to a sippy cup. She started walking probably around like 10 months. That was kind of hard though, because she's like not like small as in like underfed, you know what I'm saying? But like she was a preemie when she was born. She's like a smaller baby and she kind of had trouble like balancing her weight, but she finally got the hold of it. She's starting to say a lot of words and, you know.
Tell me what kind of things she likes to do. What kind of is she into any sort of TV shows?
Only Baby Shark. We went to Texas to see her dad, Ethan, and she slept the whole way there. Like I had to make her wake up to eat and stuff like that. And that's like a 24-hour drive there.
So let's get into the last time you saw her. Tell me what that time was like and when that was.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that. I've told TBI where to find her in Mendota. My mom took her to a campground and a silver camper, and if they don't go tonight, I'm going to go find her myself. Because I've told them, and they're not really, like, taking it seriously, and if they don't go tonight, like, I will go myself and go get her.
Tell me
yeah.
What? Okay, Auntie, you gotta. Oh, you did unmute. I mean, what?
This
She's
is
gonna.
They don't go. I'm going to go get her.
I mean, that's crazy,
Well,
right?
why don't you go get her?
Well, and then
What-
she
what are you waiting for?
specifically says, my mom has her at the campground and I'm going to go get her. I'm like, why wouldn't you anyway? If you knew
Right.
that's where your kid was and you wanted to pick them up, why wouldn't you go there? Why would you even need any police intervention?
Yeah, it's just
I mean, it doesn't even make sense.
it is the kind of lies a child would tell you or something. You know,
Oh,
it's
that's funny. Good point, Ty Bay Lux. That's a good point. But in the last interview, she was singing their praises.
she-
Exactly.
She was.
Which was 2 days earlier, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I'm sorry. It just blows my mind, guys. This is why it's so fascinating to me.
And that there's no campground there is great. I had no idea about that detail. That's really funny.
Wow.
It's insane.
It's wild.
All right. I'm going to hit play here.
about the last time though that you saw Evelyn. Tell me what you guys did and when that was.
We went to go out to eat, and then my mom came and got her. She was wearing a little hot pink tracksuit with the matching bow, little matching shoes.
And was this December 20, like right after Christmas?
A little bit before Christmas. My mom, like you can ask her, is a very vindictive, manipulating person. And she basically like threatened me the whole time that she was gone.
Do you know who has Evelyn right now?
She dropped her off somewhere in Mendota at a silver camper. But my mom would always say the person, not like people, plural.
So there is a person that has her in Mendota.
They're not taking me seriously. TBI isn't, because I've not fully told them. I've been like, hey, like my mom camped out at Mendota. You want to go check them out? But I've never been like specifically, hey, she's not your silver camper. Because my mom did threaten me, like, you know, if I told anybody. I'm not going to get into that, but she did.
So your mom has had Evelyn the whole time? Or the whole time?
Or the person that is in Mendota has had her the whole time.
Tell me why you let your mom take care of her. Did she take her from you that night? And
Well, she was just supposed to babysit her because I was going to work.
And then when did you know that something was wrong?
Well, whenever, like, she picked me up Wednesday, and I told her, like, hey, they're doing a press release about the ambulance thing, and then she freaked out, and that's why they couldn't find her. Like, nobody talked to her for days until they arrested her. She just kind of poof, gone. But she kept trying to take me to Mendota, and I kept asking. I was like, are you taking me to Evelyn? And she would never tell me yes or no. And I was like, well, if you're not, I'm just calling my police station, come and get me. Like, I'm not playing these games with you.
And so tell me, the day that you dropped her off with your mom to let her babysit. Was there anything off about your mom that day? Did you have any suspicion that she was going to take your child?
No. Well, I called her and she was just like, oh, she's safe, like, that kind of thing. And then she started threatening me, which, like I said, I'm not going to get into like everything she threatened me with, because I'm just not. But
I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but she was threatening me. Threatening with what? What kind of threat? And I wonder did she get into specifics with the police at all about what threat this might have
Well,
even been?
and it
So it's
sounds
just,
like to me what she said too was probably even contradictory to what she told the police.
yeah,
It's like she's not consistent. And I mean, if the police knew and the mother said my child is with my mother at Mendota at the campground in a silver camper with some person by the name of whatever, I mean, why wouldn't they go right then and try to retrieve the child? It doesn't
yeah.
make sense.
No, it's like she's so, I don't know, she's so disconnected from what the perception of her would be. Like even to let it get to this point where, the child's been gone since early December and she's well into February and doesn't have what was her exit? What was her exit plan? Just years were going to go by and nobody would ever ask? Like, what was it's like she just kind of was in denial almost about what had happened and wasn't trying to even cover up her crime in any kind of meticulous way,
I mean,
it's almost like she got caught off guard that this ever came up.
right.
You'd think you'd
It's
have your story
bizarre.
planned, but instead of having this constantly shifting story, it's like that she just pretended it didn't happen. It's what it seems like.
It's like you said, what's her mom going to do to her? She threatened her with what?
Yeah.
What, she's going to smack her? I mean, what's she going to do?
It's like she kept it vague because she hadn't thought further than that.
Yeah, and Ty Bayluck said zero thinking through anything. Exactly.
It almost feels like whatever happened, wherever she did it and just tried to put it out of her mind and never considered how she was going to get out of this until somebody reported it. And then she's, that's what it seems like to me.
It's weird.
It is. And then of course she's still got this she's almost happier seeming now than she was in that first interview. She's so
actually she is. And Real Me Too said Megan was raised around nothing but lying and dysfunction, so this was normal for her. And and you're very, very right about that. When you are raised with dysfunction or in a dysfunctional home and you've got all this chaos going on, this is just like any normal day. It's just chaos.
It's hard to understand. But I mean, I understand her past and how, but this is probably how they do with each other. Just lie and, not take any responsibility.
Yeah. And Rosebud said, I think she's making it up as she goes along.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think this was planned at all. I don't think she had an exit strategy. I think she just almost going through life like people would just forget she existed or something, is what it seems like.
Yeah, Guidance says almost makes me think Duper's Delight too.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Exactly.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's why I wish we had the cards. I don't know where they are. Sorry. I know I put them somewhere to remember where they were. And
I do that all the time. And then I forget where I put it.
Exactly. All right. We want to move on?
Sure.
You know who has her. What do you have to say to them?
to just bring her back. I just want her back. That's all I want. I've been so long without her, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, why didn't you report it?" And I said earlier because my mom threatened me, and I just want her back. That's all I can think about. So much, I just want her back.
Talk to me about when you had the indication that she was missing and something was seriously wrong.
Just when she left and took off, and just to answer her phone.
Talk to me about why your dad made that report.
Because he was talking to my mom the night before, and he was like, "Oh, well, if she doesn't come home, I'm going to call." And she was going on, "Well, you're going to regret this. Like, I'm going to have to leave and never be able to come back. You will regret this."
Was there a reason that, that you didn't make the call and it was your dad?
Because mom kept threatening me if I made the call.
Well, you said that you've had some issues with your mom in the past. Was there a reason you decided to let her babysit her that night? I know that you said that you had.
Well, she's my mom. I wanted to trust her.
Sheriff Cassidy told the media on Friday, I was there, that you were giving conflicting statements.
Because I wouldn't necessarily. I was trying to protect my mom, maybe in hopes, oh well, she'd just tell them where Evelyn was, but obviously she's not going to.
So now you're coming out and you're saying this is the honest truth, that you know where she is.
I know she has to be in a campground in Mendota with somebody. And mom told me that they had a silver camper, and that's all she would tell me.
Are you cooperating as much as you can with TBI and the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department?
I am.
But just tell me, how so are you, constantly on the phone with them, talking about the tips, anything like that?
Yeah, and I've looked into stuff online myself. Like, people are like circulating pictures around me, like, oh, this is Evelyn, you know what I'm saying? And like that kind of thing. But no. And like Saturday, nobody would answer me, and I blew all their phones up. And every chance they've let me be up there, I have been up there.
And Wednesday will be a week since the Amber Alert went out. Tell me what you're thinking right now.
I just don't know if the person who has her is like maybe scared that they're going to get in trouble, but they won't. They just bring her back.
What are you thinking about her current status right now? Do you think she is okay? Do you think she's being taken care of? And what is your message to authorities right now? To the TBI, Sullivan County, and all of the sheriff's?
Wait for Aunt E to unmute you.
He is.
Okay.
Is it just me? Does everybody else see that mask drop every time she looks down?
She has, it's like a corner eye. She kind of looks to the down and to the corner a little bit, and you can see it.
It's almost like she's looking at, like she's remembering what happened or something. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
Like there's the act, and then she drops, then she gets back into her role. That's what it looks like to me.
Thank you, Seclusion
Thank you,
Works.
Seclusion
That's
Works.
very sweet. Sorry, I just thought that was nice.
Yeah, Real Me Too also says that question was so telling she couldn't answer that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's fascinating.
It is.
That's why I think that this trial is going to be extremely fascinating, because there's a lot. I mean, we haven't even gotten into some of the major questions with the trial. So
What do you think? You think she's going to take the stand?
I don't know. It
What do you
depends
guys
on
think?
if her not guilty is for reasons of insanity. I don't think she will.
Yeah.
But if it's not guilty and she's saying someone else did it and it wasn't her, she might. She's done so many interviews.
If she's going to try to pin it on somebody else, I think she's almost going to have to. So I bet if that's the strategy, I bet she goes up. And there's something about her. I almost think she's had years to think about how to go forward, had lots of legal advice, but her personality type, it seems like she almost thinks she can talk herself out of anything.
Exactly.
It won't shock me if she takes the stand.
Josh the Lab says she'll end up in the chair.
I don't think they're going for that. They're going for unless you mean the witness.
Yeah, do you mean the witness stand chair or the chair? The chair. They
are not going for the death penalty. They are going for life. So it depends on which chair we're talking about. But yeah, I think you're right. I think she's. I mean, she may have changed over the last 4 years and thought things differently or gotten advice, but I bet there's a part of her that wants to get up there and talk her way out of it.
Yeah, and Sharon, that's right. They pushed for a change of venue, but were denied. And no, she won't testify.
You don't think she will? And that's the smarter thing typically to do. They will change their mind halfway through and give her the chair. Yeah, they might. I mean, when they get into the details of what happened to that baby, they're gonna want to.
And by the way, if you haven't watched Josh's live from last night, it was exceptional. So if you have an opportunity, please go watch that.
It was very good. I only cut the last half, so I have to go back and watch the beginning. But yeah, it was very, very good, as always, really. But that was a great one.
All right, let's keep going.
Departments and any authority that's working on this case.
Just that if they don't take it seriously, what I just said, I will go find her myself. They've told me before they'll arrest me for tampering with evidence. And I told them on my phone, I was like, I don't care if you arrest me for tampering with evidence. If you go up there, I'm going to tonight.
Do you have a message to the public?
Don't stop until she's back. They need to stop reporting like psychics for one, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Because that just wastes the TBI's time when they could be actually trying to find my daughter. Instead, people are like, oh, well, this lady did tarot card reading. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that just takes away from the time of like them actually searching for my daughter. I'm just happy that people are coming together to try to find her. Because the main important thing right now is
right.
Wait. Say it again.
That's very familiar to all of us too, right? Like her getting upset with the different types of help that you're getting, the tarot card readers in this instance. And that's
It reminds me of something else.
it does. It's very similar. Why do you care what kind of help you're getting? You know, I'll tell you, Josh, since you're here, I was just going to say, I keep thinking of Gary Bricado with his book, the New Evil, and this. I don't know if he talks about this case in his writings, but I've thought about him a lot with this, because this isn't just someone taking a life. This is evil. What this lady allegedly has done. But so I've thought about Gary several times today in terms of this story.
Do you want to keep?
Sure, we can keep going unless you guys want.
it's the baby. I'm just happy that people are trying to find her.
Have you been in contact with her father, you think?
Yeah. He's actually trying to get leave approved right now to come up here and try to, help find her.
What is her relationship like with him?
She's only been around him a couple times because when he was in the Army.
And what is your relationship like with him? Do you keep in contact with him?
Well, yeah, we have a kid together. You know what I mean?
Did you notify him when you knew something was wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have multiple social media profiles? Is one that we've been getting.
Because I break phones a lot and I forget the password. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really bad about remembering passwords. Now I have them all set to one, but, up until that point, I just couldn't remember the password to them. So I'll just make a new one when I got a new phone.
Tell me why you wanted to come out today and speak with us.
Just to talk about Evelyn, and if TBI doesn't go find her or not, I'm hell-bent on going myself. And that's the truth, one way or another.
This is a really big case, and a lot of people have a lot of questions surrounding this. Is there any other message that you want to send to anyone?
Well, if you don't have tips for sure, because over 370 some tips have been called in and they've just not panned out. Like, I appreciate people trying to help, but also that's wasting TBI's time, because they have to check out every single lead that's called in.
Obviously it's been a long time since you've seen her. Are you worried about that? About reuniting with her?
No, because I love her. I know she loves me.
And do you think she's been taken care of well in the time that you've missed with her?
I hope she has been.
Stop it again.
Tell me what the...
I mean, I feel like, are we back? I feel like I've heard that word for word almost about
this is
the tips coming
part
in,
of the reason I find this fascinating.
and being annoyed with all the tips that didn't pan out, and it's
And
almost
they
word
have
for
to
word.
check out every one of them.
Gotta check out every one. I mean, it's
almost you could just draw parallels all day long.
yeah. Oh yeah. So Josh says, yeah, she would meet the definition of extra, not just killing. So she would be pretty high on the scale. Yeah, she would. And we haven't gotten to that part yet. We'll have to at some point get into what actually happened to the little girl.
Yeah,
and it's pretty awful. So Sharon says she was selling her phone at the Kroger grocery store. Are we thinking that was an attempt to get rid of evidence? Is that what she was trying to do?
see,
That's
there's so
interesting.
much we don't know about
Yeah.
this.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been so immersed in the Sebastian case, and we know all the little idiosyncrasies of that case, but this one's probably got a lot of details that we just, we've just seen the overviews.
Oh, sure. And this is, 4 years ago too.
Right.
This has taken forever to happen. It's kind of hard. No matter how this all plays out, it's really hard to imagine her not being found guilty on the false reporting, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get through this one and we'll keep we don't have much more to go. So let's get through this and then we'll go into the rest of the presentation.
Yeah.
First things you want to do with her?
I'm just gonna hug her and not let her go.
Wow.
Like they'll have to pry her from my arms, literally, because I'm just not gonna let her go. Probably gonna sing Baby Shark to her and just hug her and not let her go. My favorite thing is the first time she kissed me, Lord, I cried for over a week because she would pull my hair and I would just let her do it, you know, because I love her. Like I didn't want to make her cry or be upset in any way. And she would pull chunks of my hair out. And she was in her walker one night and like she dropped her sippy cup and I bent down to pick it up. And I thought, oh, she's going to pull my hair. She pulled my face close to her and she kissed my cheek. And I just like cried about it for over a week. So I was like, oh my God, I'm the first person that she's kissed. You know what I'm saying? Just like little stuff like that. I love her to death. And I would hate to have missed out on anything, especially because of my mom.
And obviously, you know, you told me you talked to your mom a couple of times throughout this. And each time, did she give you any update on Evelyn?
She just told me that she was safe.
So when was the last time you talked to your mom? Like physically just the two of you on the phone, or
Wednesday, the 19th.
tell me any details about that conversation?
I mean, she was just going off on me and wouldn't go to Mendota. And I kept telling her, I was like, if Evelyn's in Mendota, just take me to her. I will take her up there. We can just end this right now. Like, let's make this simple. Just give me my child back right now before this gets blown out of proportion. And she would never be like, oh, yeah, I'm taking you. She'd just be like, you don't need to talk to them. I don't want you going up there and like stuff like that. And I was like, okay, well, if you're not going to take me to her, pull over and I will have like somebody on Sullivan County's end come get me to go up there and talk to them.
What is your biggest fear right now?
I have a lot of them. Just that I don't know that maybe they won't find her tonight, or, you know, maybe they don't find her tomorrow. Maybe it's weeks from now before they find her. You know, the people aren't going to be like, oh, well, like I'm not giving her back because I kept her for 2 months. This is my child now. Well, still, I'm just worried that they're going to be angry about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
She just needs to come home.
Exactly.
She's been away from her mom for long enough.
Oh, I know there are a ton of social media rumors. So if there's anything that you want to set straight that I'm not aware of, I will. This is
Gypsies are not a cult. They've been asking people if there's like a gypsy ringleader, and like, I mean, like, we're not like ringleaders. We're not like out here kidnapping babies or anything like that.
So would you describe your family as a gypsy family?
Well, yeah. And like my dad's very proud of that, you know, but he's just mad about all the rumors going around, like trashing them because like we're not a cult, you know what I mean?
And now that your mom is back here and are getting ready to be back here in Sullivan County, what do you hope comes out of that? Obviously, she and her, what believes her boyfriend was arrested.
Well, I doubt she's going to tell the truth, but hopefully she does, for Evelyn's sake. Not even for her sake at this point. Just if she hears this, I hope you tell the truth for her sake. Like, that is your grandbaby. It's went on long enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. A few of you are
She's
picking up
very
on,
sweet. She loves.
Sorry.
a few of you are kind of noticing this, like, look at her, look at you throwing that baby under the bus. Oh, she pulls chunks of my hair. That sounds familiar. Right. Kind of almost the victim blaming, right? A little
Right.
bit. Then here, that statement
Machete.
bothers me. She's trying to say Evelyn never gave her any reason for her to hurt Evelyn. Yeah.
That's a good point.
So
Okay, so
anyway, so that next morning she's arrested for false reporting.
well,
after
that
interview,
afternoon,
right?
that afternoon on the
I
25th.
I wonder if they actually went and tried to investigate the police to see if she was in a campground there. And there
Yes.
wasn't a campground.
It's my understanding that they went up to Virginia. Yes.
So then February 28th, Sullivan County Sheriff's Department searched a property in Blountville, Tennessee, belonging to Evelyn's uncle, where he's said to have been looking for a piece of styrofoam and a pillow. To my knowledge, we still don't know what the significance of that is. But Angela Boswell bonded out of the Sullivan County Jail that evening and refused to comment on her missing granddaughter. Then March 3rd, 2020, Angela Boswell and William McLeod appear in court in Blountville. Later that night, William McLeod bonded out of jail. So they are getting charged with this theft of the vehicle. 2 days later, March 5th, TBI spokesperson Leslie Earhart speaks on News Channel 11. She stated that they are not any closer to determining the location of Evelyn. Then March 6th,
The next day,
remains believed to be that of Evelyn Boswell are found at a property belonging to Megan's father on Muddy Creek Road. So this is the biological father, the Tommy.
Megan's father,
has
the biological grandfather.
Has about 10 acres or so of land. And that same day, the sheriff, Jeff Cassidy, holds a press conference stating that the remains are thought to be a 15-month-old girl. 3 days later, Megan Boswell appears in court. A TBI agent, Brian Fraley, testifies describing what they found. The clothing matched the clothing that Evelyn was reported missing in. He also stated that Megan made false and incriminating statements when interviewed by TBI. Megan's bond was increased from $25,000 to $150,000 due to the potential flight risk. And that's actually now at $1 million, I think, for her bond. May 6th, Sullivan County Sheriff's Office said a person of interest was being investigated in relation to the death of Evelyn. So they did name her a person of interest at that point.
But that was, keep in mind that that's March, and then it jumps to May.
Oh, I misread. Okay, so that's May 6th.
Yeah.
Oh,
So she was in for those false charges for quite some time.
Right. So she's just ever since that, she's just sitting in a jail, right? She didn't get out in between at all, did she?
No, she hasn't gotten out.
Yeah. So 2 months later, they say they have a person of interest. Then May 21st, officials with the Sullivan County District Attorney's Office confirmed a grand jury indicted Megan Boswell on 11 counts of false reporting charges.
Okay,
so that's interesting. So summer goes by. By August 19th, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation announced there were new updates in Evelyn Boswell's case with intentions to hold a press conference later that day. At 5:30 p.m., investigators announced Megan Boswell was indicted on 19 counts, including 2 counts of felony murder. Boswell's hearing was set for August 28th, and she was being held under a $1 million bond.
Okay. Now the trigger warning.
Yeah. So now we're going to have to get into the details of what they found and how they found her. And it is really, it's really bad.
It's horrific. So if this kind of thing is troubling, I would recommend maybe coming back and watching the replay and skipping this part. But it is, if you're going to follow this case, this is going to come up. So.
Sharon said she actually called the FBI.
Oh, wow.
And that she said, I had my scanner and heard it all go down.
And Rosebud's wondering if they moved the body. I don't know.
I wondered that too.
Oh, if that was a new location from the original, maybe.
Okay, you guys ready? This is terrible. And luckily, I wanted to tell you something real quick before we started this part. Little E is not downstairs. Little E grabbed her book and ran upstairs to read the next book in the series that we are reading right now.
Oh, good. So we had it. The book on hand.
Mommy got it.
Oh, okay, good.
Mommy got it for her.
It's always good when they're reading on their own and not because we asked them to. It's good. That's what you want. That's the goal.
All right.
But yeah, so this is going to be.
These are the charges, actually. So this is. I actually took this screenshot from the court website for Tennessee. Yeah, yesterday. So this is some stuff that's kind of weird to us. So go ahead.
Can I ask a question? Have they named anyone else as an accessory or anyone else with this case at all?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't appear to be.
Okay.
And now it is also at 20 counts instead of the 19 originally. They added the first-degree murder charge.
There's 3 of them for some reason.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure what these distinctions are going to be. One thing that's interesting to me is that the violation date they have as December 1st. So that is a week and a half earlier than the babysitter claimed to have seen Evelyn. So I don't know if this date is accurate or it's an estimation from the medical examiner or why, if they believe that it's around this time. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll find that out in the trial.
Hi, Justice Jane. Welcome in. Justice Jane lived 50 miles away. Oh my goodness. And Dreaming of Blue Skies wants to know how there's 3 murder charges.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Actually, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Is it one of them is a federal charge?
First degree murder, and then 2 felony counts of unaliving. So
1 and 2 felony counts. Yeah.
that's what I read on the documents, but it was just kind of bizarre the way it was listed in here. So, all right. So, and it looks like there's 20 charges now, as opposed to the original 19.
Yes. And some of these are aggravated child abuse, neglect, endangerment of a child 8 or younger.
The file, yeah.
There's 2 charges of that. There's a tampering with evidence charge. We don't really know what that's going to be about. All of these false reports to an officer. What we've got 7 through 18. So we've got 12 counts of false reports. And those dates are listed too, actually. Many of them are on February 20th. A few of them are the
during
18th.
an interview.
One of them is listed as December 1st. So what happened on I don't know. I don't know if these dates are significant or not. If that's when they actually occurred, or I guess we'll find that out too. One of these is abuse of a corpse, which is the kind of horrific part of this. And then the final is refuse or neglect to comply with death under suspicious circumstances. Yeah, so quite a few charges here, and she's looking at life, life in prison for this. They're not going to be. They chose to not go for the death penalty, even that recently became legal again in Tennessee.
All right. All right, trigger warning again. Yeah. And also, if you guys don't mind, we know that this is not as popular as our Sebastian shows. So if you don't mind to hit that like button, we would really appreciate it. So they can get out there and people can see it.
Yeah.
All right.
So September 2022, the TBI Special Agent Brian Fraley testified at a hearing about the discovery of Evelyn. So this is almost 2 years after. Fraley said Megan Boswell's father contacted the TBI and told them to look in a shed on his property. Evelyn Boswell's remains were found wrapped in bags inside a trash can that was placed inside a playhouse, which is said to have been Megan's childhood playhouse. Evelyn Boswell had been tightly wound in foil and a blanket, like a fleece blanket, and put inside the trash can while she was still alive. And from my understanding, is upside down,
right.
Like head first into the trash can.
Head first.
The pathologist, Dr. Dorinka, I'm not even going to try, said Evelyn Boswell was sort of compressed in the can and her head was completely tilted back. The doctor described the child as being in a distorted fetal position and said her face was pretty much flattened. So the medical examiner determined the girl died by asphyxiation. And so I guess with a tremendous amount of force put in that can, either before or after, if she was moved, maybe. But anyway, the asphyxiation, they said 4 causes, right? The foil, the blanket, the trash can, and something else.
Oh,
there was
the trash bag.
The trash bag.
The trash bag.
Yeah. So four causes of that asphyxiation. So just a complete nightmare way to go, and it's just
I agree.
It's just so impossible to imagine.
It's horrific what she put that baby through. And Detroit, Rock City is just shocked.
So,
I'm going to go on and go next.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the most evil of evil that you can imagine. Why? It's just,
and she talked so highly of the baby, and she was such a good baby. Everything was about her being such a good baby. Well,
I know.
What would make you snap to do something so evil?
Exactly.
Just so detached from any kind of feeling of another person or something that I don't know. I can't even comprehend. I just I just can't imagine I mean, I know that's how we all feel. No one can imagine. This is why it's so. You want to understand these things, and you're not really going to be able to. But
Your mind just really can't wrap around that.
So I'm going to let you start with the false reports, and it is bedtime for many in this house. So I will let you start reading the false reports, and
so
I'll step away for a minute.
We know some of them. We've already talked about a few tonight, I guess. But on February 18th, Boswell claimed that Evelyn was with her biological father and that he was not returning text messages or voicemails. She did not know the toddler's whereabouts. So this story is actually before the one about trying to blame her mother. Initially, she's trying to blame the soldier, Ethan Perry, the biological dad. Then the next day, February 19th, Boswell accused of lying to FBI about the time frame in which she gave Evelyn to Ethan Perry.
Mr. E, did you not make the bedtime?
It's the left cabinet with the plates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess that timeline changed with Ethan there. Then February 20th, Boswell told Sullivan County authorities that the last contact she had with Ethan Perry was on December 26th, and she had not contacted law enforcement on the advice of her mother, Angela Boswell. Then 2 days after telling law enforcement that Evelyn was with her father, Boswell told authorities that the child was with her mother, Angela Boswell. And so that's kind of the story we started to hear there. So she shifted after a few days, I guess, after this Ethan story was not working. Megan stated to law enforcement that Evelyn had been with Angela Boswell since mid-December and that Angela refused to reveal Evelyn's whereabouts. Megan stated she was afraid to call the police because she was afraid that Angela would harm Evelyn, according to TBI agent Gratz.
So that's what she meant by threats, I guess.
Yeah,
I
guess so.
Threatening her.
Does Middle E get any medicine right now? Did he get his medicine for dinner?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
He's set. Yeah, he's all set. So I don't know how many lies we got here. 5, 6 different lies. So there's probably another dozen or so that she's going to be charged with. And, these shifting stories. I just wonder if she's actually going to hone in on one of these and try to stick to it. If that's going to be her defense.
I don't know. I know somebody in the chat said that they heard, let's see.
Yeah.
So that they heard that the new boyfriend didn't want to have a baby. That a lot of people at the time said that Hunter didn't want the baby around, and Megan wanted to be free of her responsibilities.
I saw an interview with Hunter, and I probably have it, but sorry, Big E's going to bed and he's loud. Yeah. So I saw an interview with him, and he said that he had never met the baby. And I'm trying to think. There was a few different things. He said they were kind of on again, off again, casual, and that they met when she applied for a job at his restaurant, Hunter T's Chicken Shack. So.
Yeah, and somebody said that he closed that though right after. Hang on, somebody made a comment about
he
that.
complained. He was talking about the business getting harassed and all kinds of stuff because of everything going on, right?
So Sharon Sheldon says Hunter lied. So I mean, I'm gonna guess we're gonna see him on the stand too, right?
Yeah. Justice James said when this all went down, Megan's ex-boyfriend Hunter Wood closed his Hunter's Chicken Shack out near the Tri-Cities airport.
Yeah. So people are saying here in the chat that Hunter was lying about things and that they were both, users.
That's why I wondered if there was any other accessory charges or anything.
And Rosebud, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
She was, when she went into the trash can, she was still alive.
So she had her in this trash can in her old playhouse that she'd played in as a little girl, I guess, on her dad's property.
In a building on the property.
And had, that's why it's almost like I think she just went in. It seems, I'm just speculating, but it's like she just went into little head says the chicken probably sucked it away.
Hi, Betty.
It probably
Welcome
did.
in.
I bet it did. I bet it was terrible. Hi, Betty. How are you doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah. So I
Did you already get through this?
Yeah, we got through
Yes.
this part.
Okay. Well, there's more.
Okay. So more false reports. The defendant said her mother, Angela, had taken Evelyn and wouldn't return Evelyn to the defendant because she owed her money and would not return Evelyn until the money was paid.
That's another one.
I don't think I've heard
That
this
was
one
from a
yet.
TBI agent as well.
Angela had taken Evelyn.
And wouldn't return her
Oh,
Because
she-
Megan owed her money.
okay.
and wouldn't give her back till the money was paid. I mean, it's insane.
Ridiculous. So then February 23rd, Megan said that Angela had Evelyn Boswell and had given Evelyn to an unknown or unnamed person, and that Evelyn was safe and would have a better life with this unknown person. I guess this is the silver camper. Right.
Right. That didn't
And that
exist.
Evelyn was better off without her mom. I guess that's the story she was trying to give. 2 days later, the narrative changes again. Boswell told authorities that Evelyn was dead. This is when Boswell did say she was aware that Evelyn was dead. However, she told the story that it was resulted from either her or her boyfriend rolling over the child while sleeping, but she did not know the location of Evelyn's body, Gratz said.
I mean,
So that's I wonder what story she gave about what happened. Anyway, Evelyn Mays Boswell's remains are found on the Tommy Boswell Jr.'s property. Baby Evelyn is found. We found the remains inside of a building that was referred to by the family as the Playhouse. Gratz said at Thursday's court hearing, it was out behind what I would call a storage building on the property, and this playhouse was built by the defendant, Megan's grandfather, as a playhouse for her when she was a child. Like I was saying, it's almost me just speculating, but I just feel like it seems to me that she just kind of almost went into denial about it. Like went and hid the baby, tried to go on with her life, act like nothing ever happened, and just buried it deep and tried to go on. Instead, because if she'd had any kind of, eventually anyone would know eventually that property was going to get searched, and eventually the baby's going to get found in a place like that. But why she did this, I don't know. A lot of folks are speculating that it was her trying to move on with life and finding the baby inconvenient or whatever. And I think that's a pretty reasonable guess. But we don't know we don't know. I'm going to guess they.
I don't know. I think it seems more like a snapped type of thing, because she could have done. I mean, she obviously isn't really a stupid girl. I mean, she knows that she probably could have sold that baby. I mean, if I'm putting myself in her place, there would have been things that she could have benefited from by getting rid of the baby and done it. Even if she wanted to give the baby up for adoption, there were other things that she could have done. I think she probably snapped.
You might be right. I mean, the way she was put in that trash can, it almost seems like with some real anger and force too. So
Rosebud had a question for you, and I don't know the answer.
I don't have the answer, but I'm going to guess no. I would guess they can't change once they get started.
I'm just wondering, since the death penalty wasn't legal at the time that she was arrested and the charges were, can they change that one since then has been legalized again? That maybe that's why they can't go for it now.
I don't know.
You also would need to mention that because of Evelyn, there was a
yeah.
law put in place in Tennessee. And the law, let's see if I can find it. Because of Evelyn's law, it's now illegal to not report a child under the age of 12 missing within 24 hours.
So that's good.
Yeah. So,
and someone said, was she under the influence? Not that we know of. I don't think there's been any drug charges.
no, I don't believe so. I mean, people in the chat that just have followed this since day one, they're indicating that she was a user. I mean, the whole
Josh
family.
says, no, they can't change it.
I didn't think so. Somebody, the next person, Nosy said, did the state offer her a plea? I don't know.
Well, she's pleading not guilty.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she's just going for it, right?
Yeah. It's called ex post.
Okay.
Ex post facto.
Okay, great. I
Got
didn't
the
know that.
Latin coming in.
It seemed logical that you couldn't just change it once it started, but I haven't heard that phrase before.
Sharon said that they were both known to be on drugs.
Oh, okay.
Her and the boyfriend.
There you go.
Real Me Too says, I heard the DA couldn't go for the death penalty because of her age at the time and no prior records. That's why they couldn't. Yeah. Okay. Well, that would actually make some sense.
Yeah.
And then Real Me Too is also saying that she had heard that
No
plea deal was offered.
Well,
and maybe they feel like they've got enough. They may feel like they've got enough that they don't even need to. They may just want to put her away and give not give her any kind of option. They may just feel like it's that strong. And I mean, it is hard to imagine that. It's hard to imagine her walking away from this without being convicted.
Well, I think some of my questions though is, okay, so the grandfather called in the CPS report initially, right?
Right.
He's also the person that tipped off the police
where the body was.
So that doesn't sound right to me. That was a big red flag for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that family dynamic stuff is going to be interesting because we don't know much about who knew what when, but it's and who she's going to end up blaming.
That's why I wondered if there were any other charges for any accessories, because I mean, it sounds like that there were other people that knew that the baby was gone.
I guess they could later, right? After this,
mean,
if they
I guess.
choose.
Well, it looks like this Ethan person's going to be a big part of this as well. Not Ethan. I'm sorry. Hunter, not Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, they may just. Yeah,
I've got also. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've got one more crazy Megan interview. If anybody wants to see it, it's like 13 minutes long. It's really kind of crazy.
When was this one?
This is right before she was arrested, I believe, because she's in the same outfit.
Oh, so she does it like the same night?
Like it's in the afternoon. I think she was arrested shortly after it.
Oh, okay.
So
Ty Baylock said, can you imagine if he hadn't said something, how long it would have stayed hidden? Not saying he's innocent or anything. I would have thought that first place they would have searched were all the parts of the property. But
right.
I mean, it wasn't that long after she went missing and they actually started searching that she was found.
Right. I mean, yeah, just not even a month, just a few weeks, right before they found her.
I don't know. And a lot of people ask, were they moving her? Did they keep moving her body?
Right. I wonder that too.
Ooh.
To keep and if they'd searched one area, could they have moved her to another area after it was searched so that she wasn't found?
Yeah. So Sharon thinks she might try to go to the trial.
Awesome, Sharon. I wish I could go. I really do. We just have too many doctor's appointments and things with actually every kid in this house is going to the doctor for some reason or another this week.
Different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think everybody would like to see the video.
Okay. It's fascinating because it's even wilder, believe it or not, than some of the others.
Well, and Josh said, did he get a deal?
Like a deal to testify, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I mean, the jury selection
said yet.
Yeah, the jury selection starts tomorrow.
She was certainly willing to throw her whole family under the bus, right?
Right.
So
and I have a feeling they're
very
all
loyal to her.
Well, I was going to say I have a feeling everybody's going to be throwing everybody under the bus. It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah.
And it's my understanding that they called, I think, 1,200 jurors. So the jury selection is going to take a bit, I think.
1,200.
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Wonder why so many.
I mean, it's a small town. How are they going to find?
Well, I think part of the issue, that's why she tried to get the venue changed, is because it's such a small town.
Yeah.
So let me pull this one up. I'll pull that down. And Let me make this bigger before I pull it up. Why does it do that? I hate that. Hold on. This one's just also fascinating, guys.
I haven't watched this one as much.
I don't think you've seen this one. If you
I don't
have,
think
it's
I
been a
have.
long time.
I saw the first one, and I may have seen the second one, but I don't know if I've seen this one.
This one's fascinating.
Oh, I may have seen this one.
Does it have? It has the date on it, or we think this is the day she got arrested.
Yeah,
right
she's
before?
got that shirt on. It's on our thumbnail.
Okay, so this is what she got arrested in. Heck, might have been the morning before, right?
Sorry.
What they call the emailed
Josh is
facts.
so
That's
funny.
camped out. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
so
no
funny.
doubt.
All right. Auntie, you'll have to take care of the muting.
As long as he's not noisy, I won't mute it.
Okay.
I'll be quiet.
No.
I'm talking about Biggie.
Oh,
He's gone to bed.
Yeah, he's in
It's
bed.
bedtime in our house. So, all right.
Can you tell me, you said you can't take a polygraph?
No, I came here to take a polygraph, and due to policy, they cannot give me one.
Okay. Due to their policy?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, I've
you
seen
can't
this.
Tell me why? Based on their policy, or you just don't feel
Based on their
comfortable?
policy.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit of what's going on today? Did you volunteer to come take a polygraph?
Yeah, but they can't do their policy. They can't give me one.
All right. And how are you doing today?
I mean, not good.
Okay. Real quick, just so you guys know, she is what she's trying to imply is that she cannot have a polygraph because she's pregnant. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
And they didn't even have.
I was going to tell that.
Yeah,
You
go
were
ahead.
such a
Oh,
spoiler. Go
sorry.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Finish your thought.
You know this better. You do it.
No, you're such a spoiler. All right.
Not good. Do you feel like any headway is being made with the search for Evelyn?
I know they're trying their best.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing with? I know last time you told me all about how you're missing her and everything, and
It just gets worse every day.
it does. Do you look at pictures of her on your phone? Do you have pictures of her with you?
Not on me.
Not on you. Okay. How's you doing with your support system? I met Steven, and he was telling me that he's been trying to help you and everything.
He is. They're being really great. Better than my own family's been me at this point.
Really? Are you feeling a rift with your own family and everything? So I went to the hearing yesterday, and William McLeod said that you gave them that car, but can you tell me your side of that?
I'm not getting in on that.
No? All right. Can you talk at all about what's going on with your mom? I know that must be very hard. How are you doing with everything?
Not good, but I have support now, so it's getting better.
You do? That's good. So you said in your interview yesterday with another station that you do kind of have an idea of where Evelyn is?
They're checking.
They're
checking now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did you report that before?
Mm-hmm. They're doing their best.
Okay. And I know all of this must be very hard. Can you tell me a little bit of like what you're going through, what's getting you through this tough time?
Just people who are there for me.
Do you feel like Evelyn's okay? You think so? Do you have an idea of maybe who she's with? Or
I wish I did.
did you give her to your mother? You did. So that's who was watching her. Can you tell me why she was with your mom?
Just she was supposed to babysit her. Didn't turn out that way.
And what do you think happened? Like what went wrong? She just wasn't there, or what happened?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
And why did you come to take a polygraph?
To clear my name, but they won't give me one due to policy. I'm not going to get into all that, but
And so I know there's a lot of like rumors and stuff going around about all kinds of things. Is there anything else that you'd like to address?
no.
No.
Unless you have anything specific you want me to address.
Well, I know that there's been rumors about like you being pregnant right now, and
I'm not
hate-
getting into that.
Yeah, I know. I hate to ask you that, but like I just want to give you the opportunity to like address anything that you feel that the public.
Okay. So what she's trying to say is that she's trying to imply that she's pregnant and that the policy is that you cannot take a polygraph when you are pregnant.
Right.
She was not pregnant. And she was at the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department, who does not have the capability to do polygraphs.
Right.
So she was lying twofold. So she didn't try to take a polygraph because they don't even have the ability to do polygraphs there. So
I was listening to someone a while back talking about the difference kind of between psychopaths and normal people that lie.
mhm.
And the psychopath, they kind of go big and bold on the lies, like just grand, complete fictions with a straight face, and like they just like no worry about. Where like normal people, typical people, at least they kind of they will avoid the truth or whatever, kind of do that, lie by omission kind of stuff, or you kind of lead somebody to believe something without. You try to
Right.
lie as little as possible, either by leaving out a detail or kind of misleading or playing semantics, that kind of stuff. But she goes big.
Yeah, it's
Just
crazy.
they don't even, no policy. She's not pregnant. They didn't tell her she could. They don't even have the ability to give her a
she's
polygraph.
lying on television. So I mean, she has to know the police are going to see this. It doesn't even make sense. Her lies are so, like you said, so bold that does she think the police aren't going to watch it and arrest her?
Yeah, just
She's standing on the police property.
I know.
It's just wild.
And then she completely throws her mom under the bus. Like that's what Rosebud just said, that she completely throws her mom under the bus and says, "Oh, my mom took her."
Okay, so Rosebud thinks that I'm still firm in narcissistic psychopathy.
That's guidance.
What did I say?
Rosebud.
I'm sorry, I meant guidance.
Yeah, I think she's got those. I mean, obviously we can't diagnose her, but she's definitely got those traits that I've heard others discuss, with this kind of thing. The Duper's Delight's part of that too, and she seems to be enjoying.
Yeah, look at that face.
I mean, it looks like she's enjoying the whole game.
Oh yeah, she just grins.
It's just.
Oh,
really
Women's
weird.
Warrior wants you to read The Psychopath Next Door by Dr. Martha Stout. That's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you for the recommendation.
Okay, let's go a little bit further with this. I mean, like I said, it's fascinating.
Should or shouldn't know, or I know everybody's in your business.
I am pregnant. That's why they won't give me a polygraph. Due to policy, if you're pregnant, they cannot give you one.
Okay, that makes sense. That must make all of this so much harder for you.
And they don't have a polygraph there.
How is that? I hate to ask you personal questions, but I know you're missing your child and you're pregnant.
It's just a lot to deal with at one point in time.
Are you still getting support from your grandmother? I know you mentioned it before.
My grandmother's amazing.
She is. That's good. Have you been in contact with the father of either child?
With Evelyn's dad, yes. He's trying to get leave to come up here to help look for her.
Okay, so you have been in contact with him. Mm-hmm. Has he been supportive?
He has been.
That's really good. With your other baby's dad, or have you been in contact with him? Or
I'm not gonna get into that.
That's okay. You can tell me whatever you want. I don't want to pressure you or anything. But so I know everyone's been in your business. Is there anything else that you think that people are trying to? How do you think you're being portrayed through all of this?
Well, I mean, it depends on if you talk to somebody who actually knows me. If you're talking to somebody on the internet who lives 500 miles away and is just trying to speculate in on it. So you talk to anybody who actually knows me, they know that I would never hurt Evelyn or do anything like that.
And do you think that would you ever put her in harm's way?
No.
Do you think your mother would?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So you do think that Evelyn is alive and well?
I do.
You do?
It's just finding her.
Okay. Do you think that they will find her?
I do.
You do? Can you comment on, I know we've talked a little bit about this before, about the Amber Alert and I know there's this whole thing now with Evelyn's Law. Do you think you did something wrong when you didn't report her sooner?
Maybe, but also I trust that she was with my mom. So.
Right. And so I know that the car that they were in belonged to, I think, your ex's mom. Do you know anything about that?
Hunter's car. It's just in his brother's name.
Okay. So it was in his brother's name?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who reported it stolen?
I think his mom did.
Okay. And were you involved in giving them the keys or anything along those
I'm not
lines?
getting into all that because it was
Okay.
Hunter's car.
All right. So it wasn't, you weren't involved.
Yeah.
It was Hunter's car and everything. Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about what you're hoping will be done going forward?
That they find her and I get to hold her again. And,
Can you tell me a little bit? We know we talked about. Tell me about Evelyn again.
sweet potatoes are her favorite food. I know I said that last time, but they really are. Anytime that I'm like, kids are picky. If I can't get her to eat something, it's always Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets and sweet potatoes. That's the go-to.
Mm-hmm.
She's
And-
very sweet to everybody.
Food.
Everybody. She's
Again.
always happy regardless.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that your mom just like gave her to somebody else and she's probably fine? Like
That's what I think happened.
That is what you think happened. Why do you think your mom would do that?
Your guess is as good as mine. My mom's never really been the best mother, and anybody you talk to, like I said, that knows me can tell you that. So,
Why did you leave her with her then?
because she's my mom, I wanted to trust her.
I understand that. And I know that I think it was your dad who reported her missing.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was.
So I had another question. So do you know? So when was the last time you saw her?
I don't know the day to be exact, to be honest with you.
Okay. Was it in December?
It was.
Was it?
Towards the middle end,
Okay. Was it around Christmas? Like, do you remember buying her Christmas presents or that?
before Christmas.
Okay. Did you buy her Christmas presents and everything? What did you get for her?
A bunch of stuff.
Are you
She
going
didn't
to
buy her
when you
anything.
see her next?
I am.
Do you have it all saved?
I can't wait.
Do you remember what you got her?
It was a bunch of stuff, like clothes, toys, baby shark stuff.
Oh
You
my.
said that's her favorite song, right?
It is.
Yeah. So
That's the only thing that she's ever really sat down and watched is Baby Shark. So,
she like a very active baby.
yeah, she actually tries to sing with it. She'll sing doo 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 and like clap her hands. It's really cute.
So I know you've been in contact with her dad. How is he doing with all of this?
About the same as I am, as good as you can be. He's trying to get Lee to come up here, help find her.
Did you tell him right away when she went missing, or
Yeah.
why not?
I didn't only think like my mom to take off, and she already did. So now we're in the situation that we are.
Do you know William McLeod?
That's her boyfriend.
Did you like know him well? Like, can you tell me anything about him?
Not really, other than he's kind of sketchy.
Did you know that he was with your baby at the time?
Mm-hmm.
You did, but you said he was a little sketchy. Can you tell me why?
Well, I also think every man that I meet is sketchy until it just is what it is. That's how my dad raised me.
Right.
My dad raised me, very strict. Be like, oh, don't trust people, you know what I mean? But like for good reasons, not.
Yeah. When did your dad tell you before he reported her missing?
Yeah, and he told my mom too.
How did that conversation go?
He just told me like, hey, like, if you don't bring her back, I will report it.
Okay. And so he did tell your mom.
Yeah,
Were y'all in contact at that time, or was he just in contact with her?
a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, that's when she was like, oh, you're gonna regret this, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And my dad was like, well, why would you say something like that?
So, like, she threatened him essentially.
Yeah,
Was it over phone or text
it was over
message?
the phone.
Okay. Do you did that make you worried?
Well, I didn't know it until a few days ago, but yeah, now that I know, it's made me worried.
Yeah. So when he reported her, she threatened him.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you feel when you found out he reported her missing?
Well, glad in a way, but worried in a way.
Right. And so you found out a couple of days ago that she had threatened him. And previously you said you didn't want to name names, but why did you change your mind? Just because everything that's going on?
Well, they were like, oh, you can't talk about the case, but like, it's my child. I just really don't care at this point. It's my baby.
And if you could say anything to whoever has Evelyn, what would you say to them?
Just to bring her back. There's $56,000 in reward money. Nobody gives a shit about getting them in trouble. We all just want the baby back. Like, I promise you, TBI does not care. Nobody cares. It's just getting the baby back.
Yeah.
It's not about getting whoever in trouble. It's just about getting Evelyn back.
And how are you feeling? I know last time you were very confident about getting her back. How are you feeling
I'm
now?
still confident they'll get her back.
You are.
I am.
And so have you been coming a lot and trying to help with the investigation?
As much as they'll let me be here.
And how have you been helping? Just providing information,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
that kind of thing.
So I know that yesterday the sheriff was kind of like, "Oh, people need to stop organizing their own search parties." Can you tell me, like, did you think that was good or bad?
They just don't want them tampering with evidence, and I get that, but really, I don't see the problem with one as long as nobody is tampering with evidence or like going like trespassing. You know what I mean? I think that was just his main concern.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You know, if you find anything, don't touch it. You know, if you find her alive and well, obviously, like, you know, go grab her, go get her. But like, you know, if you find like clothes that you're like, oh, well, this sounds like what she was wearing last, just don't touch it. You know, call law enforcement immediately.
Right. Can you remind me again what she was wearing the last time?
It was a little hot pink tracksuit with a hot pink bow and shoes that match.
Cute. Did your mom have any of her other outfits with her?
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you exactly which ones, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Have you noticed anything else of her stuff missing?
No.
She didn't take any of like her stuffed animals or anything with her?
No.
Interesting that she can't tell what clothes, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, the Christmas gifts was a great question by that reporter for sure. She's like, clothes and toys and baby shark stuff.
Right.
After being asked 2 or 3 times.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she mentions a $56,000 reward. Mystery, you should write a checklist of phrases, excuses, etc. for future cases. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because it's very similar. And I was watching a Letitia Stouch interview, and she had some very similar phrasing as this as well. Well, it's the one where she has her back to the camera. It's an old one.
Yeah, and just Janice is also Leilani Simon.
Exactly.
See,
exactly.
I know. With these cases, like, people will say, well, everyone's different. To me, in a way, people aren't that different. You know, when there's patterns to liars and things. You can find these similarities and look for these traits in people from one case to the next. I think. I think there's patterns to a lot of these people. So I think you can learn from one and take that and apply it to another case. Hey, y'all. Good evening. In my opinion, Megan is enjoying the attention and enjoying some Duper's delight.
That's right, Lisa.
She seems
for
to
your
be.
comment.
She's not shy from this camera.
And you know, I didn't catch that, the real Me Too, but you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
No trespassing. Wow. She's basically saying where she's at.
Didn't even it.
Yeah.
It slipped by me, and I've watched this several times.
I caught that.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
I did. The no trespassing. I did.
Okay, we don't have much more, and then we can.
This isn't. I have seen this one though. This was one of the ones I did see.
But am I wrong that it's fascinating?
Oh no, it's very fascinating. That's why I ended up watching them all. You know, and we talked about this.
This was 6 months ago, probably.
Yes,
we talked about this.
And I mean, yes, definitely.
I've been trying to do this since October.
Yeah,
and since we've run out of time, essentially, on talking about it before it gets started, I just wanted our audience that might be interested to learn more about it, because I'm fascinated with it. So
yeah,
I know this all must be very hard for you. How do you think the public's being supportive? Because I know, like, people are trying to offer reward money, but there's also rumors. Like, how are you feeling about all of that?
Well, I don't care as long as they're trying to help my daughter. I don't really, care what people say online. I appreciate them helping and contribute to the reward money. Maybe somebody will come forward, but the important thing is that it's just out there. People know who she is, what she looks like, and they're looking.
Mm-hmm. And last time you told me that you wouldn't miss her if you saw her, because she was the cutest baby.
She is.
She is.
Nobody can convince me otherwise.
Mm-hmm. And tell me what she looks like.
She's very sweet. She's about 2 feet tall. I might be a couple inches off. Around 28 pounds. She has dirty blonde hair, blue eyes. She looks exactly like her dad, but she has my eyes, so that's all that matters. But she looks exactly like him, and she's just very, very sweet. Mm-hmm. She has dimples.
Mm-hmm. Do you wish that they could give you a polygraph?
Yeah, but they can't.
They can't.
Due to policy.
How are you holding up? What's getting you through this?
Just knowing that they're working as hard as they can, that I will be with her.
You will be. And I know I've asked you before, but you're fully confident that she's fine, right?
Right.
Is that out of hope or just trust in the system, or what?
Both.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add that you think that the public should know how they can help?
Just keep looking.
Just keep looking. And do you think that people will find her?
Hopefully. If law enforcement does, somebody out there will.
Yeah.
But I'm fully confident in the team up there.
Okay. Wowza.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fully confident.
I'm just wondering why, though, she didn't take her off somewhere else, off property. And, that would have been the smarter thing to do. If you were going to do something like that.
She had months.
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
what I'm saying. If this happened in December, just right after she went missing, I mean, she had months to move her. She could have taken her states away.
Yeah.
Justice Jane, I did not realize they were changing the trial location. I thought that was denied. I thought they were still having it in Sullivan County, but I may be wrong. But it's my understanding that News Channel 5 that we were just watching, I already closed it. WCYB News 5 is going to be hosting the trial. That's my understanding. I would assume Vinny did a thing about it, I think earlier today or yesterday. So I'm assuming they're going to cover it as well.
Oh, I think a lot of folks are. Yeah.
Like I said, I would really, I would like to be there. I do not know that I need to personally hear the details. I think it'll tear me up.
Yeah. So one of the things they're saying is that the pictures, a couple of them, they're deeming so terrible that of Evelyn that they're not going to show them to the jury because they thought it would be prejudicial.
Oh, Real Me Too says WJHL is covering it as well.
So if the pictures are that horrific.
Well, Justice Jane, Hunter said he never met Evelyn. So how did he roll over on Evelyn? Then somebody's lying. Yeah. Also, I mean, many of us in here have had children. How many babies do you put to bed in a tracksuit? Right.
Oh, right. Like with shoes too.
And a bow.
And a bow. Yeah.
I mean, we were big bow people with our little girl.
Yes, you were.
But she did not go to bed with a bow because I was always worried that it would end up in a mouth or stab an eye or something. So
I think a lot of people will be covering this in general because it's an older story anyway, just because it took so long to get to trial. But
I wonder why
it's just so horrific.
I think she disclosed the exact outfit, but that wasn't with the baby. I thought the baby had that outfit on.
She said that's what she had on when she gave her to her mom. That's what she said.
I think I think I'm missing something. What do you mean, Rosebud?
I think she means that she knew the exact outfit she was wearing, but she wasn't with her.
Oh, I follow.
So Sharon is saying Sharon's the go-to
Sharon's
knowledge
got
on this.
the info. She's a local.
She's been following.
Sharon, I'd love to hear more.
So there were pictures of Hunter on Megan's Facebook with Evelyn before she deleted her Facebook. I have those pictures. Also, yeah. So
interesting.
and what kind of lie is that from Hunter? Is he just trying to distance himself as much as he can, or?
Lisa said that it got delayed because of the C virus, so that makes sense.
Well, everything got backed up because of the C virus.
But I wondered why it was taking so long to get to court.
Well, she has a new attorney. Her original attorney stepped down in 2022 for some reason. So that happened at least. I think she's got a public defender too. So it's going to be hard to imagine her walking away from this, but
I think
stranger things have happened.
It sounds like to me that the father, her father, Megan's father, knew something bad had happened to the child under Megan's care, and he was reporting it. But then he also reported to look in the shed. So obviously he knew something was in there.
Also, sorry.
And that might be where, that might be what her attorney might try to exploit, is if the whole family is just a bunch of liars and inconsistent
Degenerates.
and different stories that aren't lining up, might be enough. Maybe they'll go for that to try to put some doubt in the jury's mind about exactly what happened. That would seem like a reasonable strategy if these people.
But no one else is being charged with the crime right now but her.
Right. That's true.
Right.
I don't know. I think I missed this on the lies sheet. She also told her mother that baby Evelyn was placed in foster care in 2019.
No.
That's another one I missed. Sorry.
That was a lie?
That was one of her lies that she put out there in the world.
That she told her mother that?
She told her, this is, I guess her mother must have been from a mother's interview. She told her mother that Evelyn was placed in foster care in 2019 in December.
Well, and then obviously she went to court for something.
And she also said that she had at one point, she told people that Evelyn had passed away. And she said that she'd accidentally gotten rolled over on by sleeping with her and Hunter. But a 15-year-old, that would be, 15-year-olds are pretty vocal.
15-month-olds.
What did I say? 15. Sorry, 15 months.
Yeah, you can't really roll over on a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah. And then she stayed with a friend and told her she was afraid of getting arrested because Angela, her mother, hurt Evelyn and hit her on Tommy's property. That was another one. And another odd thing that Hunter mentioned is that Evelyn had a broken arm. So that was interesting.
I wonder if she actually did have a broken arm.
I don't know.
Yeah. Right. So, that's the kind of stuff people try to come up with the excuses ahead of time.
Right.
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 Tell a lie that's kind of close to the truth, so it lines up later.
Right.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. So you may have an idea what happened.
We are probably not going to cover the jury selection because, like Mr. E said, we have a really super busy week. We have multiple doctor's appointments on a couple of the days this week.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be able to cover the jury selection, but hopefully we'll be able to cover when the trial starts during the day. We'll have to see. It just depends on what time it all starts. Sharon says her actual babysitter was her grandmother, her father's mother.
And that must be the one she said was such a good grandmother. She mentions her.
Her father. So Tommy's mother.
Oh, okay.
The evidence from the coroner will be very telling. With Kaylee Anthony, the body was too decomposed. That's why Casey got off, in my opinion.
Casey moved here.
She did.
Well, it's the place to move if you want to be into crime because you don't get caught.
Well,
yeah.
Megan, I watched several interviews with the law enforcement and TBI on this case, and they seem great. I could be wrong. I don't live there, so I don't have a personal.
They wrapped it up, and they also had a body. Some cases when you can't find the evidence you need, you can't do anything but theorize and try to find clues.
Well, one of the things I like that they went ahead and locked her up for the false reporting instead of just letting her stay out there and in the world. They went ahead and locked that down, even though they didn't have the case built against her for the murder yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. Real Me Too. They locked her up, so they were able to put pressure on her.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Obviously, didn't work if she's pleading not guilty.
Well, they got her on the false reporting.
Well, but they found her. If they had left her running around out there, she might have had an opportunity to.
Yes, and then they raised And they
evidence
raised her
or-
bond so she couldn't afford to get out.
Yeah.
Right.
So we always, I know we're all kind of like drawing our own parallels with the Sebastian story in different ways, but you do have to wonder if they have a suspect, if they had locked them up for something right away,
If it would be different.
if things would be different now. I'm going to guess there's some inconsistent statements that have been made to Sumner County sheriffs also.
I would think so.
If it ever comes out, I think we'll find that.
Well, it's like with Leilani. They just, I think that they were just kind of ticking away. I believe Real Me Too was actually in the courtroom during Leilani. I believe she had some false reporting as well on her charges. I knew about it. I watched some of it, but I was not as, keen, up to date with all that stuff.
Also kept her from getting pregnant again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, this
Oh,
girl,
yes. Okay. So yes, Leilani had 19. So they were just kind of ticking along, and keeping track, making tallies,
yeah,
and just adding on those charges.
Mhm.
And it makes you wonder, how often that happens.
Right.
Oh, Lisa, thank you for becoming a
Thank you,
member. That's
Lisa.
really sweet of you. You're our first member. No, actually, our Taylor was our first new member tonight, but our Taylor was just renewing. But we appreciate all of our members. Welcome to the Crime Docs. You know what? It's been kind of a sleepy night, so I'm going to play a special song for you. All right, where is it? There it is.
Welcome to the dog town. Your crime dog now. Members only. Welcome to the dog town. Your crime dog now. Members only. Welcome to the pound. Members only. Bow wow 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 wow. Doo 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 doo.
I just love that. That's so cute. Yeah, I've got all kinds of silly songs.
So we hope that got everybody kind of caught up. Or if you'd kind of forgotten about the case or were unfamiliar with it at all, we kind of have the nuts and bolts of what happened there. As horrific as it all is, we kind of know, kind of what we're getting into here in the next few weeks. So we will try to do some live streams during the day when the trial's happening if we're available. And if not, we'll give some updates when we come back and do lives on the weekends and that kind of thing.
We do have our other job too. So.
Well, yeah, we have others. We do have other jobs. So, but
Super sticker.
Are you saying, wait, Women's Warrior, are you singing super sticker or are you singing super chat? Because I sing super chat all the time. Which one do you sing?
Well, they're both pretty catchy.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I can't play them unless we get them. So
right.
That's the rule.
So,
oh, absolutely. This case is really important to me. It's close to my heart. So I've been pushing these two on it for quite some time.
Yes, he has. I like I said, 6 months ago, I watched all these videos and I was kind of just waiting for it to come to trial so we could cover it more.
Yeah, this is one you really want to put her away.
Right.
Well, and I
this,
think
this woman does not need to see daylight again.
They obviously got this law pushed out pretty quickly because the reporter asks her about, what do you think about the law? Do you think you should have reported it sooner? And so obviously, I mean, how did they do that so quickly?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it was just a few months. Usually things don't work quite that quickly as far as getting a law, drafted and passed.
I think we should research that. That's kind of fascinating.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that happened.
Because the reporter mentions it in that last interview.
Yeah. Yeah. And at that point, not even a week had gone by, actually.
Well,
right?
that was from the disappearance to that point.
Yeah.
It had been, it was December to February, but it had only been a couple weeks that she'd been reported missing.
Yeah. It hadn't been long at all. So yeah, if that happened in that,
I don't see how that could have gotten passed that quickly.
I don't know. I mean, it's certainly a law that, the children that are not school age, you could go a very long time without knowing
right
where that they've disappeared.
Rosebud, the law is for children under 12 and under have to be reported within 24 hours.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have applied to Sebastian.
There might have been. Was there a special needs?
But he
though?
was reported right away. So
Mhm.
Yeah, but there might have, was there a caveat in it for special needs on that law? There might have been.
The law is actually really long, and maybe we'll go over it at some point.
But yeah, and of course, if they, so it also raises tremendous suspicion if you don't. I mean, she's going to have such a difficult case to prove. I think. I mean, I don't know. Unless she's going mental illness, I don't really know how she walks.
Mm-hmm.
Women's Warrior says, I think the deal they gave her is no death penalty because if anyone deserves it, she does. In my opinion.
If it comes out that she's guilty of this and what happened, it's I don't know if there'd be a better case for DP.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean that's as dark as it gets.
Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about the judge? I had that question up. I
don't remember seeing the judge.
Do you know anything about
I did see the judge. Let me see if I wrote it down. I've got my legal. We're old school. We've got our legal pads. It's funny because we take these, like when we go to court, we take our legal pads with us and sit there and make notes the whole time because in court you normally can't have any kind of device.
Recording devices. Yeah.
Dang it. I know I had it somewhere. I can find out real quick while we're sitting here. I know we're wrapping it up, but I can find out real quick.
Somebody said something, and can Judge Wolf do it like him? He's in Dixon County. Sharon
is saying Goodman.
Yes, that's correct.
Goodman. Good. Okay. And she said good judge.
Jim Goodwin.
Goodwin?
Goodwin is what I'm reading.
Okay.
And that the district attorney is Barry Stabus, Staubus. Stabus, probably. Yeah.
So we'll learn a lot from this trial that we just don't know. Don't know the details of. So I want to know what happened here. I want to know what their theory is on her motive. I want to know what her defense is going to try to be, and these family members, if they had any role or knowledge and that kind of thing too. And it'll be interesting. But any last thoughts before we go, Auntie? I think we're going to kind of wrap it up here in a second.
Yeah, I think we're going to wrap this up and let everybody go to bed.
I know this was a little departure from what we've been doing with the Sebastian case, but I think it's really interesting, and we want to deal with other aspects of true crime, and I think it's a really good case to get to depart with.
Well, I think also I want to see how TBI handled this case.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how local sheriff departments in Tennessee handle this case. I think it will give us a lot of insight going forward if there are any other cases that happen to be tried.
I'm looking forward to seeing if they bring any other aspects, any other evidence, like you said, the high-tech evidence.
Right.
If that's even brought in, or they have so much evidence they don't need that.
Right.
Because I really think with the Sebastian case, they're going to need some high-tech evidence.
Right.
Yeah.
And your wish is going to come true probably too, is that you're going to get to talk about Murdoch. So
that case just blows my mind when you go over the testimony on that case. It blows my mind.
Why is it definitely going back to? Is it definitely going back to trial?
It's looking that way. Like it.
Yeah.
So
it's looking like it, and I can't imagine, because of the number of people that testified in that trial, and he still says he's not guilty, he didn't do it.
But they had all that Cellbrite, right?
Oh, they had so much data. But they don't have murder weapons. They don't have weapons.
All right. Well, don't go down that road again. I know you get it. You get all on.
There's a lot of other evidence, but there's no weapons.
You should just prepare a whole show and teach us.
Yeah. Yeah, you should.
You should just
You
be the
should.
one in charge, and we'll just listen.
Yeah.
I could definitely show you that testimony and talk about that that
Uh-oh.
evidence.
You and the real Me Too can go watch it together. There you go.
I would love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
You
would
think
love to
I'm
go see that.
feisty, the real Me Too. Wait till you meet her in person. She's way more feisty.
Mm.
So
I would.
All right.
That's just been an intriguing trial. It's a fascinating case as well. So many layers to it.
And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ty Bay Lux, I didn't think you had any typing errors that I noticed. Oh my goodness.
Unlock all vision when I
Wow.
can imagine it would be challenging.
I would say it's challenging. I'm sorry. And prayers for you with your tumor.
Yeah, so sorry.
We'll be
about
praying
that.
for
Yeah,
you.
but
I'm so sorry. And Nana, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. How sweet of you.
yeah, good to
And
see
Women's Warrior and Real Me Too and Rosebud and Dreaming of Blue Skies and Terry DeVoe and Lisa
you.
A.
Women's Warrior has to be up in 3 hours.
Oh, go to bed, Women's
I know.
Warrior. Don't stay here.
Well, thanks for hanging with us,
Oh,
though.
thank you, Rosebud.
Oh, I always find your streams very informative, and thank you for including me. Of course, we love you guys. We appreciate you, and we'll probably see you next Sunday, maybe sooner. And Sharon Shelton, thank you so much for all the insider info and local info. That was so helpful.
Yeah,
You might want to drop our email in case she wants to send you any other information she might have.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there's any other information you think we would like to have on the case that you happen to have, you can just shoot us an email.
Absolutely. I'd love,
Thank you,
love.
Sharon.
I want to see justice for baby Evelyn. I know you guys do too. And like I said, if I would say the jury's probably going to take probably several days. I don't know. We'll see. If we are able to go live during the day, we absolutely will. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Good
See you guys.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
I'm not ready with the video, of course.
Oh,
Just so you know.
okay.
That's all right. And I
Thank you, Lisa. Have a good night.
Thank you. I just want to be around for my babies. I get that sentiment too.
Yeah. Let's see.
Good night, SS Butterfly Kisses.
We remember you. We remember you. Ooh. We're still here for you. We'll shine a light for you. We're holding on a hope for you.